The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, and this show is fucking packed. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop there. We will begin this Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio Show, telling you that last night we, just like you, watched the national championship where Nick Saban cemented his legacy as the greatest college football coach of all time in the hardest year to do college football. And I said this earlier in the season on College Game Day. Do you believe, Pat, that there will be an asterisk next to whoever wins this college football national championship? And my answer was, because it was on ESPN, who cares if there's an asterisk next to it? And that was the same exact day that I learned that it's asterisk and not asterisks, but who gives a fuck? The asterisk means you have to look down at the bottom of the page where they say, hey, we got to explain this particular thing to you. If they could explain in there what the year 2020 was and what was happening and what these players and coaches and athletic trainers and equipment managers and commissioners and refs and everybody had to do to get a season off the ground, basically, in the world environment that we're living in, if somebody was to look at that asterisk and look down and read that in like 20 to 30 years from now, they go, oh, that had to be the hardest fucking year of college football in history. These kids weren't allowed to even go to dorm parties that were right next to them. These kids weren't allowed to go downstairs. These kids weren't allowed to do anything, let alone the kids. How about the coaches? Not allowed to go get dinner with their family because they could potentially test positive, which means contact tracing, everybody's out. I mean, the fact that these dudes got to last night, won the national championship, I think it was an absolutely beautiful thing. Did I fall asleep in the fourth quarter? Oh yeah. Did not make it all the way through, but I think we all understood what was going to happen very early in that game. I did pick Ohio State to cover last night, but then when they rolled out some big news of players not being in and not being out, I quickly, publicly backed off of that bet.
Smart.
I would like to let that be known. I did do that. But watching Mac Jones and that Sarkisian offense operate, with Devontae Smith being like a Tyreek Hill for them, he might have ran 7 miles in that first half, and a lot of them were for touchdowns. The dude is unbelievable. You have to worry a little bit about his size, as you do in every single situation with an undersized player going into the NFL, but a Heisman winner that isn't a quarterback came into a national championship game with all eyes on him basically and showed up and showed out in a massive way. It was almost like Sarkisian said, like, hey, you won the Heisman. A lot of people probably learning about you right now for the first time. Want to let you know, our entire game plan is to let the whole world know why you won the fucking Heisman. Yep. We're going to run you 4 times in the backfield, and then you're going to go out there. We're going to put you on this little white linebacker who was the representative of Ohio State for the Captains. Man. And whenever he waddled out there, and then Alabama had the guy that was just looking down at him, I thought Ohio State was potentially in trouble. Early, good fight, but they had too many dudes in Alabama. What a win. Congrats to Najee Harris. Yeah. Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, old Dickerson getting on the field in the last play there. The big question mark around Saban's conversation about being the greatest of all time will be, he went to the NFL, didn't succeed. Does that matter? No. Greatest coach of all time. Last night, though, a lot of people weren't happy with the way Waddle was being used. Waddle looked like he couldn't even walk, and then he'd get on a field, ran that drag route, looked like he was running a 4.2, 4.3. Then as soon as he gets off, it's like, oh, my God, that guy should have a walking boot on almost. Yeah. He continued to play. The internet erupted, obviously. That's the only downside to anything that happened last night was Waddle playing through an obvious, very serious injury. As soon as he gets that one catch, they should have said, hey, all right, you got a catch. You showed the world that you're incredibly tough. Now we need you to just sit down, okay? Need you to do it for your sake. You're going to get a lot of money coming forward. Yeah. Love last night. Love the game. Congrats, Alabama. Congrats to Ohio State. We'll talk to Ohio State legend in the third hour, A.J. Hawk, about last night. We'll talk to Darius Butler in about 19 minutes or so about what's going on in his world. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, normally scheduled for 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay.
That is a little update for your calendars. Be a friend, tell a friend, because Aaron has to work today.
Sure.
Bump it up an hour. Of course. He's got press conference 2:25, practice the whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
It is playoff Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go.
He'll be on from 1 o'clock Eastern Standard to about 1:20-ish. We'll go to a break. We'll all take a pee.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay? Ty won't eat anything terrible, so he'll be able to be here for this particular Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Good go.
Then at 1:25, Jarvis Landry.
The juice?
Yeah, we got a big show today.
Wow.
Today's going to be a big show. Let's get to it. Atone Diggs is here. A lot of rumors cooking up in the NFL. How are you feeling? What are you thinking about?
Let me be the first to send my condolences to you. I feel bad. I feel terrible. You had this grand plan next year of being able to go out to dinner every weekend with Carson Wentz, but now that Doug Peterson's gone, it seems like he's going to be staying in Philly. So I apologize to you.
That is tough because I was getting my hopes up.
Yeah.
That Carson Wentz was potentially going to be the Indianapolis Colts quarterback next year. And, I don't know what's going to happen with old Phil Rivers. Okay, Coach Reich already got a little emotional speaking about it. Says he only sees Phil playing quarterback for the Colts next year.
Beautiful.
But Phil said, maybe, or I'll be wearing a ball cap on the side of the football field coaching that team down in Alabama. Yep. And everybody at ESPN, NBC, and everybody's like, not so fast. Fuck them kids. Okay, we can give you a lot of money to come in here and do this whole thing. So Phil's got a lot of options, obviously. Carson Wentz coming to Indy does seem like one that has settled down a little bit. But if the front office that wanted Jalen Hurts also wanted Carson Wentz, interesting. Are they still going to want to move Carson regardless? Carson said he would have wanted out if Doug Peterson stayed. Allegedly, these are all coming out of the woods. You know what I mean? These rumors are coming out of the woods because Carson Wentz is deep in a tree stand.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He is deep in the woods right now. There's just a lot of drama going on over there. Now there's a thought that Doug Peterson was trying to get fired. He wanted to get fired. He walked into that meeting and was like, hey, How about this? I ain't doing a fucking thing that you want me to do.
What's up?
What's up? Oh, you want me to still coach here? What else do I got to do? Let me pick this up and break it. You still want me to coach here? This is when you're looking for a fight to get out of a potential friendship or relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what Doug Peterson did whenever he walked into old buddy's office yesterday. He was like, I don't like the way you're looking at me. And he's like, oh, well, I'm the owner of the team. Yeah, stop fucking looking at me. Give me that pen, too.
You think
I want to hire whatever coach I want to hire. You need to shut the fuck up. No, I'm not. It's my team, my own team.
Doug, calm down.
No, fuck you. I took my visor off. He did the whole thing. And they were like, all right, you're fired. He's like, that's what I thought. And walked out. And now he's going to be the Jets head coach. And now the Philadelphia Eagles are once again just in complete shitstorm of what the hell's going on over there.
You think Nate Sudfeld's sitting in his room and he sees that Doug was just using him as a pawn in his end game and turns up "Hello, Darkness, my old friend" a little bit louder?
I'll tell you what, Nate Sudfeld is the real victim of this entire thing in the Philadelphia Eagles organization. His name is synonymous with the Eagles tanking. Mm-hmm. Like, you think they were trying to win? They put Nate Sudfeld in the game. Like, yo, Nate Sudfeld did not deserve that. What if Nate goes out there, by the way, and Taylor Heineke's all over the place? Ooh. By the way, he didn't. But what if he did? Instead, the conversation is Nate Sudfeld, incredible Hoosier, Indiana University Hoosier football player. He's been on the Eagles for a long time. He has played meaningful snaps before, but now he's known for as the guy that Doug Peterson was either trying to lose a game with or inevitably team started fighting their coach for putting him in the game at Boston Connor. How do you feel about that?
Sudfeld's going to be fine. He's going to be a VP at JP Morgan in no time. But I'm looking forward to the draft right now. And honestly, I don't get the whole Mac Jones thing. I mean, especially because he's got the Heisman wide receiver, all those massive linemen who are walking out to coin tosses. I just don't want the Patriots to take Mac Jones. That's my biggest worry right now.
So you just put your evaluation cap on and you said Mac Jones not a quarterback for your team. You're a quarterback this year through 6 touchdowns.
That's right, exactly. So I know a Mac Jones quarterback.
Mac Jones almost threw that in the first half yesterday.
Yeah, to Devontae Smith. So if we can get Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, and the entire Alabama offensive line, maybe even Sark comes up too, then maybe, but you can't do that.
I will say it is interesting. I haven't watched enough film like you, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I've a ton.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Mitt was letting me know. He gave me this whole rundown. He put together an Excel sheet for me.
Nice. Okay. I don't know how that has anything to do with what we're talking about right now.
On Mac Jones.
You're trying to slip in something else.
Yeah,
what do you? No, I'm not trying to slip anything in.
That's what you're doing. You're
now I just remember what you guys were talking about. I am not trying to slip
anything. Why the fuck else would you even bring up Mitt?
Because Mitt's watched basically every single Bama game, college football game that's been played this year.
Why is that?
Yeah, but nobody knows that. So why would you say that publicly? Like, nobody thinks that Mitt is the authority on fucking film watching of Alabama. So why would you bring that up?
You haven't seen Mitt's film room?
Oh,
anyways,
we've heard about it.
Well, you were trying. Yeah, exactly. That's what you were trying to do. Anyways, Michael Lombardi, former general manager for the Browns and coaching assistant and all that shit for Belichick, he said basically, whenever you talk about Mac Jones and other quarterbacks, that you have to look at every single throw in 2 different fashions. Was that a scheme completion or was that a quarterback completion? Ooh. So in college football, everybody's wide ass open, it seems like. If you have great athletes, your guys are wide ass open. And I've said this on record numerous times. I think I could win a Heisman right now if I was to go back and play quarterback, strictly because if you put me on a team where I could stand there and guys are going to be wide open, I can make every throw. Yeah. Okay, so I can make every throw. And the thing that Mac Jones does have, though, is because of Sarkisian's offense with the motion, he has been able to dissect defenses a little bit. And now, granted, college defense are very elementary compared to NFL defenses, and normally you can just look at the safety to tell very quickly what's going on, but he was able to do that at a very high rate this year, okay? Make decisions quickly. But it does feel like a lot of the passes that were completed yesterday were mostly scheme completions, which isn't Mac Jones' fault, but Mac Jones is going to have to prove, I believe, over the long haul here that he can put a ball in a keyhole if he has to, because in the NFL we've seen some quarterbacks get into the NFL. They had great schemes in college, but they're not used to guys not being wide ass open, and then maybe they don't pull the trigger. A la Tua Tagovailoa down in Miami. There was even a beautiful mic'd up moment between Ryan Fitzmagic and Tua. I believe it was in the Denver game, where Ryan Fitzmagic actually looked at Tua and he said, "Hey, some days it's just going to have to be 1-2, and you're just going to have to basically throw it." And Fitzmagic was basically saying, like, and if it's a pick, you're going to have to just start throwing the ball because you get scared. You kind of start double clutching a little bit because in college guys are wide open. The NFL, if somebody has a half a yard, like that's open, that's what you got to put that ball right there. That's why Joey Burrow has been so impressive because he can put it in there. Herbert's throwing the spots. And I think that's why you hear all these people complimenting these young quarterbacks because they're doing things that 4-year, 5-year vets in the NFL do, where normally a lot of young guys are a little bit hesitant, scared to throw guys open. Now, will Mac Jones let that thing sling? I mean, I looked at his body yesterday afterwards. He looks like he has a good time, it feels like. I'll be intrigued to see. Most quarterbacks, by the way, bad body.
Yeah. I mean,
they're like shooters in basketball. Like there's no reason. Now Andrew Luck yoked. Okay, there's been quarterbacks that have been absolutely yoked, but normally they want to be rather loose with the whole thing. Now they have to be tough, durable because they're taking a lot of shots. But you're not seeing a lot of normally yoked up quarterbacks for a reason because it's just like a basketball shooter. Like you don't need to be all tight like that. Mac Jones, I'll be excited to see how he is in the NFL. And Fields, by the way. I'll be pumped to see how he does in the NFL as well. I don't know if last night is anywhere near enough to jump Trevor Lawrence. He made a couple great throws, led a couple great drives and everything like that. But I feel like Trevor Lawrence is pretty much locked into one. Fields probably number 2. Zach Wilson, everybody's saying, is probably number 3. And then Mac Jones. Is Mac Jones number 4 in there?
This morning, ESPN had a mock draft of the Colts actually taking Mac Jones in the first round.
Oh, wow. Which is weird because
what's up, man?
he does feel destined for the Bears, but I guess Frank loves him.
Nobody knows. Whose mock was it?
It might have been Maziano's. I'm not positive.
Fucking Maziano's out here doing mock drafts?
It might have been.
Early mock draft.
It might have been. I do not remember who it was accredited
Hey,
to.
if it ain't Todd or Mel, I don't want to fucking hear it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Man, could you imagine? Because Zach Wilson probably be sitting there, I guess. Or they have Zach already taken.
Yeah, I think
Todd has Zach Wilson go number 2 overall as quarterback, number 4 to the Falcons.
Yeah.
By the way, Zach, great athlete, I think. Like he'll test well, I think. Whenever people, I think he'll test very well. And he has some film this year that makes you think like, okay, guy's a stud potentially. But boy, we're not in the evaluation game.
Mac to Indy.
No, we're not.
Mac to Indy.
A little bit.
All roads should not lead to Indy. I'm sick of that, okay?
Why? It's a perfect place for a QB.
Every basic-ass white quarterback, send him to Indy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Perfect.
Come on. Let's not be scared to go get a basic-ass white dude up in Detroit that can sling the ball all over the yard. And we know he will not be scared to throw it into double, triple coverage if he has to because he can make every single throw. And let's save that guy, okay? Let's save him from Detroit. That guy has sacrificed his back, his neck, both of his hands, ankles, knees, and his entire happiness to that goddamn city. Now, they have paid him handsomely.
Yes,
but it is maybe a time for Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay to extend a hand for a guy that's been drowning in money and sorrows up there in Detroit and say, hey, pal, come on down to an actual football team.
Come on.
That would be awesome.
Come on.
No disrespect to Phil Rivers at all, of course. But we all watched that game on Saturday, and we said, if Matthew Stafford's the quarterback of the Colts, they win this game for sure.
By the way, we have said that. Not everybody has said that, though, by the way.
Really?
I've learned from the internet that not everybody has the same narrative about Matthew Stafford that I do because, by the way, I don't think you watch any Detroit Lions games.
Right.
Matt Stafford is a video game quarterback.
Stud.
It is unfucking believable watching him just pick apart. And there's no respect for him because his team sucks.
Yeah.
And they're not even going to be able to hire the guy from the fucking 15 minutes down the road who might actually like the Lions organization, Bob Salah. They're going to be fucked for a long time.
Pat.
Chris Spielman's going to be running the shit up there. Oklahoma drills in the front office.
Let's go.
What's up, dude?
I had this thought last night, like if Ben retires, like Stafford would be awesome. But then I realized that with Stafford comes Evan Fox's fandom.
yeah.
So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
I actually do think the more and more I think about it, Stafford's just going to stay in Detroit. Couldn't you see that happening?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things just like Deshaun Watson where it's like you've been looking for a quarterback. You're not going to come into a job and say, you know what, got a quarterback, let's get rid of him.
First move.
I don't see Stafford being like, yeah, trade me. Like, he could, but
That's the thing. Stafford would have to raise hell.
yes.
And at this point, I feel like he's such a laid back, like good guy. He won't do it. But why doesn't he just go in there and be like, fuck you guys, I'm not playing for you next year. Get rid of me. Get me out of here.
Wouldn't that be awesome? One morning,
Yeah.
he just wakes up. Somebody pissed him off somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe a Lions fan won license plate cuts him off. And he's like, this motherfucker.
I'm done.
And he goes in, he sleeps, and maybe his bed breaks, and the Detroit water isn't working. He can't even shower.
Oh, jeez.
And his internet's obviously not working.
Terrible.
slow.
And he just says, you know what? too fucking long. And he goes right in and says, I'm out of here. Trade me now or I'm not playing. I'm retired. He pulls the Carson Palmer. You either trade me or I'm retiring.
He should do it.
You should call Doug Peterson and be like, hey, man, how do I get released? What am I supposed to say to my owner to get his ass to just cut me?
Doug's going to say, just walk in there and basically say everything he says is stupid. You want to hire that coach? That's stupid. You want to do that? That's stupid.
Matt, what about, why don't we go and get some offensive linemen for
That's stupid.
Okay, well, what about a running back?
Yeah, that would be awesome. He would never do it, but
No chance.
He should, though.
And by the way, will never get talked about because he doesn't do media, doesn't do anything. It's
Too
just
proud.
like, just kind of, I'm just going to go do my job and kind of just disappear into irrelevance because the franchise that drafted me and had number 1 overall pick because they were so bad the year before. They drafted me, and I'm just a loyal team guy.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, selfishly, I want him to stay so bad, but he has every right to say, get me the hell out of here.
And he won't.
No, he won't. And we're going to have Dan Campbell running the show here pretty soon. I can't wait.
If you're lucky.
I can't wait.
If you're lucky.
Just think about all the shitstorms that Stafford has been through up there in that organization. Let alone the fans, okay? But Stafford's been through something.
Schwartz.
Okay, there was Schwartz almost fought. I mean, they almost fought at one point. Then, I mean, Jim Caldwell comes in. He was a steady hand. He's doing good. So the franchise is like, get him out of here.
Finally like somebody.
Can't have this.
No.
Too many winning here. Too many opportunities.
9 wins.
Calvin
What the hell?
Johnson said, see you later, pal.
Matt's like, God damn, I had the best wide receiver of all time. And you guys forced him out and made him pay you back. Then you fired him. Matt Patricia comes in. We all know how that ended up working out.
Slay.
Didn't have any fun for 3 years.
No.
And now you got us doing Oklahoma drills in the goddamn locker room. Dan Campbell and Chris Spielman.
Player, coach, he lines up on tight end and goal line.
Jesus.
That'd be
Worst
awesome.
defense in the league last year.
Bro.
Well, yeah, what's new?
Should he not say, get me out of here, dude?
He should. I just don't think he will.
He's just
A quarterback that we're going to push for to get out of there. But he'll be joining us today.
No, don't even.
About 40 minutes or so.
don't have
Get him up.
to
Get him
push
up.
it if the front office is pushing
Hey,
it.
listen, the Packers could this offseason say, we apologize for everything. Here's a 7-year deal.
Yeah,
it up.
they could, and they should.
Here's $30 million a year for the rest of your career. Is that enough?
And then once you retire, you can take over ownership of the team.
So you 51% from the fans.
Exactly.
Sign Godwin.
Godwin, CG, what we call him, on mic'd ups with Tom Brady. Best hands Tom's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
First round of playoffs, if you're not.
Not good.
He's unbelievable, though.
Yeah.
Not used to a little more juice. John Tom had a little more juice in the first round. Play.
True.
Oh, yeah, he's a little bit more dialed in.
Ball's coming in a little
I ain't got
too
fucking
hot.
time for anything, okay? It's playoffs.
He was hitting dummies on the run.
Got time for that shit.
At Viva Lazita, before we get to this break, because Darius Butler will be joining us on the other side. What is your poll of the day? I feel like this one's going to get large.
Oh, yeah. Who's the best quarterback left in the playoffs?
Great question.
Last place, Tom Brady at 5%. Josh Allen, 12.2%. Patrick Mahomes, 19.9%. And Aaron Rodgers, 62.9%.
Yep.
A lot of people said Lamar should have been on there. Baker. We didn't put him on there.
No one said Baker should be on there.
A lot of Browns fans did, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They beat the shit out of the Steelers.
They did.
Baker Mayfield beat the...
Living piss.
No.
He retired, Big Ben.
He retired. And
Holy shit.
No.
Wow.
You watch that game. He still stinks.
Whoa.
He
Jarvis Landry had like 100-some yards away.
Went
Yeah,
off.
Jarvis had to. You should have seen him
Browns
catching
fans
it.
are saying
Okay, you
right now.
Steelers fans still
Bitter.
just can't get over it.
Some people were saying Bama could have beat the Steelers.
Whoa!
I didn't say it. We didn't say it. Some people.
Whoa.
Listen, anybody that's saying a college team's beating an NFL team, normally not taken very serious. Okay, you got to watch that. Let's get to a break here. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Aaron. Oh, the song's dying at the exact same time, you see.
Yeah.
You see?
So if we...
Gotta get those transitions down on
Yeah,
Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah, because it would have went to no sound. Darius Butler joins us on the other side.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to chat with him about all things happening in the world and also your phone calls. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. It's the Pat McAfee Show, Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. We're about 36 minutes away from that. You got 4 minutes. Go ahead and do whatever you got to do. See ya. a perennial Pro Bowler, an all-pro, a man who's aging like fine wines, Green Bay Packers legend, Super Bowl champion, from Butte, California, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers!
Please tell me that that's going to be a one-time thing.
What is the longest you've ever thrown?
Yeah, somewhere between 68 and 70, Pat. I don't know, right in that sweet spot.
69 yards is how far you threw it. Nice, congrats.
Hell yeah!
Of course you have, by the way. Of course you have. With home! That doesn't get you going for a game? Are you kidding me?
No, but I have a funny Creed story. So, in 2007, we're playing the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night. We're 10-1. I have long hair. I'm a backup. And before the game, we walked down the field, and I don't know if it was on purpose, but our intro song was Creed with Arms Wide Open. I looked to my buddy Nate Weir, who AJ knows Nate really well, and we both said this is going to be a good night. And that was the night I came in off the bench and played pretty well and kind of changed the narrative about me from, possible draft bust to, hey, this guy might be able to play, maybe.
Thank you, Creed.
My kids say, like, oh, if they see him on TV, oh, there's Uncle Aaron, look at that. Oh, Dad, is that Uncle Aaron's dog? I'm like, nah, it's a prop dog. They're like, well, what happens to that? I was like, oh, I think he hasn't killed after that.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Like, oh, no,
AJ.
no.
I noticed this past Sunday, you were smiling, shaking hands, giving a lot of high fives to the boys on the side. What have you seen in this old footage that has rejuvenated your love? Or is it something else about this 2020 season that seems to have you just in a better headspace?
Why am I having so much fun?
Bingo.
I have just a new and increased love of life. And I've made decisions and changes and habits that put me in a lot better headspace. And there's just a lot of things that have come together in my life over the last few months that have really been enjoyable and reminded me, given me perspective on life and in football to view things through the most positive lens I possibly can. And that's why I'm having so much fun. And it starts with love. And then surround yourself with people that you really enjoy. This show is, to get sentimental, this show is just another step in that, because I love Age so much. And Pat, I have so much respect for you and the boys. Like, this was such a fun opportunity. And now I look forward to this every Tuesday.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
One fight at a time, fellas.
The Pat McAfee Show.
That's right.
Hey, I want to let you know that there's a new way of doing some things.
Okay.
Current is the new way to bank. It's a mobile bank with a Visa debit card. Current is great because they help you. It gets you paid up to 2 days faster.
Wow.
That's 48 hours faster.
Holy shit.
There are no hidden fees or minimum balance requirements. Free overdraft of up to $100.
Whoa.
Instant refunds on gas station holds. Earn points on purchases that are redeemable for cash. It's the only card that does this. And it only takes 2 minutes to sign up and card ship for free.
Okay. Wow.
Shout out Current, huh?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Shout out Current.
Right now, if you click the link in the info of this youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show, you can go and get started in this entire thing. Or you can get a Current Black Premium card at www.current.com/Pat McAfee Show. That's CURRENT.com/PATMCAFEESHOW. Current, the new way to bank.
I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
Get you paid up to 2 days faster.
Who does that?
Gas station holds. See ya.
Okay, as soon as I read that, I thought of you because you do Thanksgiving at gas
Yeah,
stations.
that was the first thing I thought of.
By the way,
hundreds of dollars.
A lot of purchases at gas stations.
Oh, yeah.
Free overdraft of up to $100. Don't worry about it.
That's huge.
That's awesome. Welcome back to the show. Thank you to Current. Current.com/Pat McAfee Show. Get a Current Black Premium card. Get a black card.
I like that.
Anytime you pull that out, by the way. Doesn't matter how much is on the other side of the digital footprint that it is. Just matters that you pulled out a card that is black and you laid that thing down.
How you doing?
How you doing? How much is in the bank? I know it's less than $100 of what this costs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But doesn't matter because they're going to cover it for me. Shout out Current. Joining us right now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who told us to buy Bitcoin at, what was that, like maybe 10,000 or something like that. It is experiencing a dip, so we'll see how confident he is in his little stocks and bonds and Bitcoins and all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, drafted by the New England Patriots, played for the Colts and the Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the Man to Man podcast, Darius Buddy. Hey, Bitcoin's crashing.
Fellas.
Bitcoin's crashing, dude.
But little pullback, minor pullback. It happens.
Hey.
Minor pullback, still very bullish. You'll still be up, what, double? 150% since that show?
Well, I mean, I do believe that would be the cash.
No big deal.
I watched
a black card.
By the way, by Current, shout out to the black card from Current. You pull out a black card, by the way, you look. Bang. Bang. Pow. Let's talk about football. Deshaun Watson, okay? When you and I played, and I'm not saying like we walked up hills both ways, but it feels like there has been quite a change of the tide of the way things go in the NFL. The NFL has always looked at other professional sports leagues, the NBA, MLB, and notice how much the players have more say in what the hell they want to do. And the NFL has never been like that, okay? Now, it feels like the players are getting a lot more power. In Houston, we've seen a couple different situations just this year. Allegedly, J.J. Watt, in the middle of practice, told Bill O'Brien he was sick of his shit, got fired a couple days later. And now Deshaun Watson was told by Cal McNair that he would be a part of the process of the hiring, and he had a couple ideas, and basically he was kind of shoved out of there, and then Caserio was hired. He's upset about it. He wants his way out. This feels like a very different NFL right now, and I think this is only going to the beginning of this whole thing, too, for the NFL. Do you agree?
Very, very different NFL. Don't forget about Russell Okung getting half his salary in Bitcoin as well. So very, very different.
And by the way,
NFL
since that day, his contract, he's just playing for free. Yeah, a couple times. Every other game, basically free for that guy.
Nah, man, but yeah, man, players exercising their power, man. Obviously, Deshaun Watson, he has power, he has leverage. Quarterback in his prime, 25 years old. He is locked up, got that no trade clause, but if they told him that he's going to be a part of the process, I don't understand why not follow through with that guy in the position that he's in. You kind of bring Nick, your new GM, into a rough situation. He's got to smooth over, with his franchise quarterback out the gate. I think he'll handle it. I think at the end of the day, he doesn't move. But if he does move, I know me and Gump would be excited about him coming down here to Miami.
I forgot about your Dolphins fanhood.
Die-hard Dolphins fan, D-Butt.
And by the way, the Dolphins have the picks to make the move if they had to.
Yeah.
They have 3 picks within the first 35 picks of this draft already, one of them already being Houston's. If they wanted to send over Tua and 3 good picks, that'd be equivalent to 4 number ones in about a year or whatever. And then Houston gets a lot of draft capital. They get money off their books. They're probably going to have to cut J.J. Watt too. J.J.'s probably going to be a free agent. That saves them $17 million. That, in the grand scheme of making your life easier, would be the thing, but then you immediately have to find a quarterback that is worth a single fuck because that's all you're looking for. And Deshaun Watson is that guy. I mean, that's a tough spot for Caserio to get dropped into.
Because it's tough. It's tough. Obviously, we all know it's tough to find, a real franchise quarterback. They have one, so it'll be hell on him if he moves them. Obviously, the case is still out on Tua if he's going to be that guy or not.
What do you think? What do you think?
Tua?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm off the Tua train, man. I jumped off.
Because Deshaun is potentially a Dolphins quarterback. Is that right?
Even before that, man. Even before that, I said, if Fields is on the, is on the board at 3, or one of these other quarterbacks on the board at 3, Part of it for me is it's the lefty thing. It's been a while since we've seen a dominant left-handed quarterback in the league. You have to go all the way back to freaking, Steve Young. Outside of got Brunel, Vic ran a damn 4-2.
Tebow, Mike Vick,
Tim Tebow.
He ran a 4-2, man. And Tua had he had Chin Gailey, old Chin calling the plays. He didn't have the greatest personnel around him. But you got to think long and hard about taking the quarterback at 3 because when's the next time you're going to be at 3 with that team that you had down there in Miami? But if we could get Deshaun, man, I know the NFL fans would love to see Deshaun and Josh Allen going at it twice a year for 2 years. So
that would be awesome.
Exciting.
That would be awesome.
Sure.
Why and Bill Belichick? Just go ahead and mix him into the mix there. Why is the lefty quarterback thing such a thing? What is it? Is it because offenses are all tailored to right-handed guys?
You got. If I'm a play caller, most of my life, you've been calling plays for right-handed quarterbacks. You've been blocking for right-handed quarterbacks if you're a lineman. It's just a lot of things that go into it. Tua's obviously very talented. We saw him at Alabama. We just saw Alabama last night. Shred Ohio State. They're in the national championship every year. Got talent up and down that rosters, but it's a different NFL. His guys were wide open every play. At Bama and NFL, this is wide open. So it's a different game, moves faster. He just wasn't, it didn't seem like he was seeing it and believing it. But that left-hand thing, I don't know, man, got to be something to it.
Darius played corner and safety in the NFL and nickel in the NFL. Freak athlete there. We're talking to Darius Butler, host of the Man to Man podcast. So last night you watched Mac Jones. Do you think this guy's going to stink in the NFL?
No. I wouldn't say he's going to stink, but I wouldn't be that high. I wouldn't take him in the top half of the first round.
It's hard to judge, right? You got Devontae, who's Tyreek Hill. Okay, you got Tyreek Hill running around, basically. You have offensive linemen that are all 6'6", bigger than everybody. Now, granted, Ohio State also has dudes too, but I'm just talking about Alabama.
Different dudes. Completely different dudes.
Why is that?
I think we see that every year. It's just. I feel like they gotta do something about that. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of seeing Bama in the damn natty
stinks
every year. Saban's crowned as the greatest coach of all time.
He is.
Guys, anybody on this call right now can go in there and coach that team and win 11, 12 games. Stark obviously called it great, but they got to put a cap on damn 5-star recruits that can get in there, man. Somebody else open up a damn checkbook.
Whoa. Okay. We can't recruit those 5 stars to it. I think that's a large part of it.
They kind of recruit themselves at this point, man.
Well, and also they're on national TV every single week, and there's a behind the scenes of Nick Saban taking his boys out on the boat, you know what I mean? And he's in the movie Blindside showing how he recruits.
Awesome.
There's a lot of inherited risk that is, or recruiting that is happening with Saban or whatever. But you think he's done? I think he's potentially done.
Saban?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you think that?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Just for whatever reason, last night it felt like it was a different Saban situation. You know what I mean? It just feels like it. It feels like if you were Saban too and you ever thought about retiring, and I think we had heard rumors that he was potentially thinking about retiring or whatever. I think you win it this year. You've had this dominant run for so long. Why not just go out on top of the world? I mean,
go out on top.
Yeah,
he was. He had a little fake modesty there. Keep talking about the 2 losses he had. The post game interviews. He won 7. Why not go for 8, man? He just broke Bear Bryant's record. Why not go for 8? I don't think he's done, man. It's a sweet gig. You're gonna get the best recruiting class for the next however many years you're there. You're gonna be in the playoffs every year. Shot at the Natty every year. Why leave that?
And it's different down there in the SEC. He's a god amongst a lot of people. That's a pretty good time, I'd assume, for him. Let's move back to the NFL. Doug Peterson walked into the owner's office and told him he was stupid, got fired yesterday. Now he's going to be the head coach of the Jets. That entire organization is in complete disarray right now, D-Bud.
Yeah, I thought, with them, I thought he got the word from the top to pretty much tank it that last week, which would make me think he was safe going forward. So to see him get fired yesterday was surprising to me. It kind of feels like, Lurie kind of chose, I guess, Wentz's potential, once again, going back to the power that quarterback has, over, Peterson's potential on fixing the team. So now with Peterson out of the picture, Obviously, a lot of people are talking about now, it's much more likely Wentz stays in there. Maybe it's a quarterback competition. Maybe he just gets a fresh start with a new head coach. We'll see. But, yeah, it's wild over here in Philly.
Hey, there's a lot of jobs right now. I would say, 2 or 3 of them are going to get really good coaches, and then 4 of them are going to have bum-ass head coaches, I'd assume.
We'll see. I mean, it's a lot of good coaches out there. It depends on who they give a real shot to. I saw Saleh was flying out. Was he flying out to New York?
Yeah, he's been there twice. He's been to the Jets twice. Philly's looking to interview him today. He's obviously interviewed with the Lions already, but there's no way they're going to land him.
No.
Yeah. I really like Dable. Yeah. So like you say, I mean, it's a lot of good jobs out there, and like I think somebody said it's like 5 of these 7 places have like good quarterbacks who have experience. And have shown they can play in the league. So, I mean, that's obviously the number one priority when you go into a team. In my opinion, I think that Chargers job is probably the best one with the talent that they have on that roster, with the talent they have with Herbert at quarterback. If you can get that job, that would be the one.
And it's always sunny out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful out there.
You know what I mean? I mean, you got to watch out.
Taxes, though.
You got to watch out for the taxes, the earthquakes.
Sun tax.
You got to watch out for those earthquakes, though.
Mudslides.
Couple fires through. T's and P's to everybody in California. But aside from that, it's awesome. It is awesome out there. What do you got, Tiggs?
DB, talking about good coaching, you highlighted so eloquently on Twitter this week how Keith Butler over and over and over decides to cover the slot receiver, the number 3, with a linebacker.
Keith Butler, Steelers defensive coordinator.
Uncle Keith, man. Yeah, man, they got to switch that up. And I saw Warren Sharp. He went back years and years, but they've been doing the same thing. It's going to happen at some point in the game. Whenever you call a zone defense, 9 times out of 10, that middle linebacker is going to have to, relate or cover that number, whoever is lined up at a number 3. Typically in the old NFL for years and years and years, the number 3 person is usually a running back or a tight end. But now, as we all know, guys move around more than ever. So they put Landry at 3. So it's going to happen. 1st, 2nd down, I can see it. But 3rd and 2, game on the line, you need a stop. You need a chance to get the ball back and score some points. You can't, in no situation, call that play. Like as a defensive coordinator, the only information you have is field position. You got the offensive personnel. You got the down and distance. So it's 13 personnel. There's 1 wide receiver on the field. So I got to make a man-to-man call to get one of my cover guys on Jarvis Landry in that situation. But that was egregious.
Bro, Bob Spokane did not deserve that.
Come on.
My question, DB, is like, as a leader on the defense, like if you were at safety, could you be like, hey, this isn't going to work. Like, look at Bob. Look at Landry. We got no chance here.
Oh, and last night, old 32 on Devontae.
Yes.
Is there any thoughts?
My God, poor guy.
That poor guy, dude. How about 2 times that guy got interneted last night? They walk out for the coin toss where he's a giant was on the other side, and then he's next to Devontae Smith just running to go right by him, and he's supposed to chase him and not give up, by the way, because if he gives up, and then you see him mentally give up in the middle of that thing. That was tough. But isn't there some decisions that should be made by – I guess it's hard just to look at your coach, though, who has been around a long time and be like, no, we're not going to run that.
I mean, that's tough. And on that video, Tyrann Mathieu, he commented on, like, he was like, or you can have a safety who can kind of unwind that for you. But it's tough when you send in a zone call, you see how quick it comes in. Guys got to get lined up. So if it's a zone call, it's hard to change those zone rules and get some type of man alignment, especially when he's lined up at that number 3 position, which is closest to the quarterback. So if it was some type of man call and maybe they would it would be easy for that safety to say, hey, you switch, but you can't put, Spillane back in the post either. So it's a tough situation to adjust. If you're a safety on that field in that situation,
they just need to put Spokane's hand in the dirt. Put him down in the dirt.
Right.
He's got that neck. Just go ahead and let him eat. You know what I mean? Just let him. Hi-ya!
They've been putting backers on slot receivers for 30 years.
Yeah, slot receivers getting a lot faster these days.
Right.
A lot faster these days. Like Wes Welker was an absolute animal. Okay, I agree. Wes Welker, absolute animal. Wes Welker ain't running 4.3 though. That's where a lot of those slot receivers, by the way, had to be a little bit bigger back in the day. Not bigger, but stockier because they're going to take big shots. Now there's no rules. Like you guys, the little guys can really eat in the slot nowadays.
Yeah, I mean it's just bad ball, man. You got to know your personnel. Landry has been one of the best since he's come to the league at moving the sticks, at beating, guys on those type of routes. Cornerbacks, nickelbacks, everybody. So if you put poor Spillane out there, he damn sure don't have a chance. So that's just bad ball all around, man. I understand the frustration from the Steelers fans.
Well, there's a lot of it. But we'll talk to Jarvis.
Right, Foxy?
Yeah, Foxy, big-time Steelers fan. We will talk to Jarvis at 1:25 about his thoughts when he saw Bob Spokane lining up against you got Connor.
Darius, the Cowboys just hired Dan Quinn. Do you think he's the guy to go into Dallas and fix that defense, or are they just going down the tubes in these next few years?
I mean, he's got a good resume when it comes to calling defenses in the league. So it should look better. They got to get some better personnel, and they're starting up front in that interior. It'll be better than what Nolan had out there this year. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. Dan Quinn's defenses ranking from 2020 back. Okay, so we'll go from most recent when he got fired all the way back. 2020, they were ranked 29th. 2019.
This one is he was a DC or head coach?
I mean, he's a head coach, but he probably has his hands on defense, right? Don't you think, or no?
Yeah, I mean, we had Chuck. Chuck was a D, but he didn't have much. Minuski was calling the plays, so it's kind of unless he's calling the plays with that sheet in his hand, glasses tilted, I can't really put it on him. But I would definitely like to hear these stats, though.
I'm done. No, because I mean, if he's not, I assumed he had his hands in it. But if you're saying. Because I thought Chuck had his hands in it a little bit too, and then you're saying no, not really.
Yeah, no, not really. So when I played in New England, it was times where Belichick would take over play calling. It's times when certain coaches would take over play calling. Certain times it's full time. Sometimes they split it. But unless a guy, sometimes you give that whole right to the defensive coordinator and the play calling. Let him call it.
All right, Tua, get the fuck off. All right, Fitzmagic's coming in.
Here we go.
Could you imagine I own a team? 2-minute drill.
Oh,
all right, give me the fucking headset. Fucking middle of timeout. I got the sheet deep.
Bring the magic.
It's absolute deep. That would be wild. So Belichick would just flip over sometimes and be like, all right, go ahead and take a fucking seat real quick. Matt Patricia, go ahead and put that number 2 pencil right in your mouth. All right, here, this is what we're going to do. That's wild. It makes sense, by the way, because he's Bill Belichick. Yeah. But then, I don't know. It's an interesting situation. What do you have, Connor?
I was also going to ask Darius what you thought about Saleh being the Jets head coach this year.
I like it, man. You got to get if you're going to keep Darnold, you got to get a good offensive play caller. But Saleh is a great defensive mind. I would assume he would keep the play calling duties on defense. And sometimes that's the best situation. You saw it have worked so well with New England for so long. Obviously Belichick been a head coach, been a defensive guy. He just kept good offensive coordinators coming in and out of that organization. So something like that could happen with in New York. They finally got Gase out of there. And maybe the same thing could happen in L.A. You allow a good play caller to call the plays for Justin Herbert, keep old Pep Hamilton as his QB coach, and just take full care of that defense and make sure that defense firing on all cylinders and, let the offensive play callers do what they do.
Whenever you talk about good play callers, McVay, right? McVay kind of set the tone for these young offensive wizards, okay? McVay got a lot of people jobs. I don't know how many Christmas gifts they're sending McVay, but a lot of people should be sending shit to McVay's house over there with that pool and that dog and everything we saw during Hard Knocks or whatever. He benched Goff. Okay, nobody else is going to say it.
Go ahead, say it.
He benched Goff on Sunday, okay, in lieu of Wolford, okay? And the Wolf was getting loose, obviously. Yeah. He ended up in an ambulance. T's and P's, we hope everything recovers well for the Wolford. But then Goff goes out, does everything that you would need to do to be a starting quarterback. McVay didn't dial back any plays. He was still throwing the ball down the field. And then this week they're saying, we're not announcing a starter or whatever. Is Goff's time done? And if you're playing against Goff, does he scare you at all other than the fact that he can make every throw?
He doesn't scare me. But Sean McVay does a great job of putting him in good situations where his reads are there. And he's made throws. He did get his team to a Super Bowl. He's made throws, but like you said, in my opinion, I agree with you. He was benched because we know everybody's playing through some shit when it comes to the playoffs. And if he can get out there and come in and relief duty, he can come out there and start. So he doesn't scare me necessarily as a defense. He will be As a team, I would say their defense is the scariest thing about their team. But he does have good weapons around him, great yak guys with Cup and Woods. And he does a great job of dialing it up, man. It doesn't scare me, though.
How about Jalen?
Doesn't scare me.
Jalen Ramsey at about 20 miles an hour,
Man.
jumping up, floating, and just batting balls around people, not touching them, no pass interference somehow. He's number one right now, huh?
Incredible athlete. X-Howard had to be number one for me this year, just because his ball production and his coverage skills this year, which will have him on the man-to-man pod today.
Hey, here we go. Here we go.
Tomorrow.
Here we go.
Jalen Ramsey, man, he's right up there too. Not only what he does on the outside, but he has the ability to move on the inside and play a high level of football. Very talented athlete. Came in college playing safety. He brought a whole different. And a lot of times you see a guys get that paycheck and kind of take a year, maybe a year and a half off. He got that 20 a year, set the bar, and he's raised his level of play all over the field, raised the level of play of that defense. So that whole secondary, that whole defense has been balling from wire to wire, man. So I'm excited to see them go out this weekend.
It's nice to have a D-line that has Aaron Donald on it, too. I'd assume in the secondary. But I saw Jalen, I saw the house he was looking at in L.A. during Hard Knocks.
Uh-huh.
He's going to need another contract. I mean, that thing is gorgeous. And he's going to get it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's unbelievable to watch. Him and Devontae should be a hell of a battle this weekend. What do you got time?
Yeah, D-But, that's what I wanted to ask about. Is just obviously Jalen kind of, DK Metcalf had, the touchdown, but outside of that, Jalen kind of handled him. How do you see the matchup with him and Devontae Adams going on Saturday?
Ooh, man, it's gonna be good on good, man. Great on great. They're both at the top of the game. When you got a quarterback like A-Rod, though, you got to give, especially with the rules, you got to give the edge to that matchup. If they're one-on-one, I would give the edge to the offensive guys almost every time. But Jalen's, I think, is going to make his fair share of plays. I think, honestly, those bigger receivers like a DK are a better matchup for Jalen. I saw Jalen, struggle a little bit like T.Y. early on in his career, got him a couple times. But you have those shifty guys like a Devontae Adams. He's a bigger body, but he moves like a small guy. His catch radius is crazy like a big guy. And then you got a guy like Rodgers who can put the ball literally anywhere. So if they leave him, one-on-one and trust him to just, be good on good, I think stat sheet-wise, Devontae will win that battle. But if we're watching the game, Jalen he'll make his fair share of plays, and if he picks one off, takes one to the crib, he wins the battle. So we'll see. I'm excited about that though.
Hey D-But, can't wait to listen to you and Xavier Howard. That'll be on the Man to Man podcast with Antoine Bethea tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, boss man. You're the best.
Appreciate you, fellas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek. Some breaking news happened while D-But was talking to us. The Oakland Raiders have hired a defensive coordinator. That defensive coordinator's name is Gus Bradley. They put up a photo from their Twitter account of Kevin Wisenhunt, which is not Gus Bradley. Shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, we all get yelled at for calling them the Oakland Raiders every once in a while. Yep. We're not the Oakland Raiders. We're the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, that's not Gus Bradley. That's Wisenhunt. So it's an awesome moment to be a Raiders fan, I'd assume. Gus Bradley's a guy that is beloved by all the players that have ever played for him. I got a chance to play against him whenever he was the head coach of the Jags. He always came over and said what's up to me. He was always very nice. Seemed to have a lot of respect. Good for the Raiders. Who knows how their season's going to go, but their social media and their internet needs to figure it the fuck out. You can't slap Gus Bradley in the mouth on day one if you're coming in there. But hey, that's the Raider way, baby. Let's keep it moving.
Wisenhunt was the OC for the Chargers while Gus Bradley was the DC. They're like, we hired one of them coordinators down there.
Got one of them white. Yeah, it's the coordinator for Chargers. And then what did the person just Google? Chargers coordinator?
Exactly.
First one to pop up, Wisenhunt.
Social media coordinator probably had quite a night at Caesar's Palace last night.
Allegedly, Marquise Pouncey is going to plans to retire. Anthony Costanzo, left tackle of the Indianapolis Colts, has retired after a 10-year career. I got a chance to be teammates with him. He is an awesome dude, incredibly intelligent. He and I went on a USO tour. The name of the show is right over his face right now. He and I went on a USO tour to Japan together alongside Chuck Pagano, DeQuell Jackson, Mike Adams, and Matt Conti, the Colts PR guy. We had an incredible time, got to learn a lot about him. He's a guy who's incredibly intelligent, caring, has a great personality, and whenever he gets into football, becomes an absolute lunatic. I'm excited to see what he does going forward. I assume there's a lot of stress leaving his life because of how serious he took football. He was awesome, and he only got better as he got older. He ended the year with an injury or whatever. I'm very happy to say I was teammates with him. I knew him. And the Paisan from Chicago, who has a restaurant in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, his family has a restaurant up there. I hope that's doing okay in this whole thing. Congratulations on a job well done. Big Godzilla, Anthony Costanza.
Shout out like Dirk.
There's a couple videos I had that I had to get rid of. We went on a trip to USO, or to Japan for the USO tour or whatever. And at night we just went out. We had a good time. Over there, he was actually getting called Godzilla, and it was awesome because he was three times the size of about everybody over there.
Oh, yeah.
There was cars over there that were tiny. Him obviously sneaking into them and just it was amazing. He was so cool about it all. Congrats on a hell of a career, and he's made a lot of money, so good for him. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Scored the elusive lineman touchdown, too, during that career.
And had been calling for more.
Really?
Yeah, because of how athletic he was.
Tight end.
He's a great athlete. I forget what it was. I think he wanted to run a play. I forget what it was exactly, where they just threw it at the uprights because he's 6'7", massive dude, and he could jump. Like, he was a great athlete. It's like, you're a tackle there. So if we do that, we have to move you out of tackle. We have to make you eligible or whatever. We have to do a whole thing. So he didn't get as many opportunities, but when he did get his chance, caught the ball, did a celebration. I assume you nerds know. What is it?
I don't know exactly.
It was a Pokemon or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He did some sort of anime dance, I believe.
Oh.
It has circulated around the internet today because he got one chance to score, and he absolutely crushed it. I will say that I was also lobbying for more touchdowns from Costanzo when I was on the team. Congrats to him. Hopefully he's happy with his decision. I'd assume he is.
He did the Pokemon slide. That's what you're thinking of, I believe.
I don't know.
Fun fact, you want to know his middle name?
Oh, Paisan.
Salvatore.
Same thing.
Sally.
Pretty close.
Literally just. Was that Sal Palantonio?
Yeah,
It was the crab Pokemon he did. It was the crab Pokemon back and forth.
See, the internet's telling me it was a Street Fighter dance.
Whoa.
Maybe it was Street Fighter, by the
Good
way. Maybe
game.
I got it wrong.
Seconds.
Street Fighter is the Hadouken?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, according to NFL.com, it was the Dalsim dance from Street Fighter 2.
Okay, is that
nice.
this thing? Is that one of these things?
Yep.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it. See, I know all those things.
Yeah, you play.
Dance with me. Aaron Rodgers is on the other side. You got about 6 minutes to go figure it out. Playoff edition of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday here on SiriusXM. We'll see you then. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you. A couple people, one college kid, took a shot at my swag.
We noticed.
We know. We don't like that
I
kid.
don't think a lot of people understand what swag is. Some of this younger generation thinks, swag is just like the clothes I wear or whatever. No. Swag is a mentality. Yeah. Swag is a mindset. I tried to tell this to some of the guys in the locker room this week. I said swagger, which is what swag comes from. Swagger is a mindset. Swagger isn't that you have a Supreme backpack on. Or that you have your shoes, unlaced, walking around with, you got your new Louis fanny pack that you make sure it's not worn at your waist, it's worn over your shoulder. That's not swag. That's not swagger. That's fashion choices. True swag is owning your inner essence. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And my essence on the field is that I feel like I'm a throwback player and I'm a tough guy. What I've played through, how I wear my stuff, I'm kind of a no-nonsense, straightforward. To me, that's what swag is all about.
You're damn
all
right.
this like fake swag out there. I got my special towel. I got this. I got that. I got this writing out there. A lot of you guys are just posing.
All right.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 of this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, begins immediately after this beat drop. There it was. here we go. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 NFL MVP, officially named first team All-Pro. The team he plays quarterback for is number one in the NFC, so all roads to the Super Bowl have to go through his home turf. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! What's up, dude?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
Work edition.
Yeah. Are you at work right now? Where are you at? Are you in the locker room? You're in the back room? What's going on?
I'm in the back room.
I see you got press in like 20 or an hour and 25 as well. I assume a lot of the things we talk about here, you're going to get questioned about again. So let's get to it. Congrats on the $500,000 donation to the Barstool Fund. It's absolutely awesome. Hell yeah. Woo. Absolutely awesome. What made you do that? How'd you get into it? How did it all work out? That was really cool to see unfold, brother.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I've been following El Presidente on social media for a while, and I've enjoyed his takes on many different things. And when he got kind of challenged, I was wondering how he would respond. And initially, it was, "Hey, here's $500,000. You take it. You figure out how to go with the money." That changed pretty quickly into him and his folks there figuring out how to get the money out. It's just an amazing deal what they're doing. I mean, to be able to not only change people's lives and livelihoods, but to do it in such a timely fashion. I mean, the money is going out in 24 to 72 hours. And I think there was just such a need. If you look around our environment today, it's not like the government is really helping anybody out in a timely fashion. I mean, it took forever to figure out how to give $600 checks away, and then may or may not get to $2,000 at this point. That's not life-changing money.
Bingo.
What Dave and his folks are doing with the Barstool Fund is life-changing money. It's sustainability for these people. And I think that's the thing that you gravitate towards the most, is just not having a reliance on the government to help you out, because obviously they've shown that's not going to be the way they're going to do it. I mean, they've put these rules in place. They're not even following their own rules. I mean, how many people have gotten caught? Don't travel. Don't leave the state. Oh, here's so-and-so on a vacation. Don't go get a haircut. Oh, here's so-and-so at a salon. Don't eat out at a restaurant, unless you're wearing a mask and separate. Oh, here's a picture of the governor of California violating those rules. Oh, public schools are closed, but I can send my kids to a private school, in-person school. And it's like, I mean, for us to count on the government to help us out is becoming a joke at this point. So what's happening is guys like Dave and his staff and all the amazing people who've donated money, this is people helping people. This is money going directly to save businesses. A lot of these have been in business for 10, 20, 30, 50, 95 years, one of them. And you watch these videos, how can you not be moved by the work they're doing? I mean, you're putting a face to all these names and where the money's going, and it's just so exciting. So like I said on the Instagram with Dave, it's really a call to action for those of us who can donate. Let's donate. Let's help our brothers and our sisters out, because these are our people. We're all we got. If you can't donate, if you're as affected as so many people are, let's spread the word. I think in our age group, Pat, you and I, in our mid and late 30s, like so many of our friends at this age are starting their own businesses. They're small business owners, and the pandemic has obviously killed business. And I've talked on this show and at my locker about kind of the part that doesn't get talked about a lot with the pandemic is the mental part. And, the suicide network having, 4,000% increase in the amount of calls they're getting. People are hurting, not just financially, but mentally. And I think this is such a great message of hope that there is good Samaritans out there who are going to come step up and help out. So spread the word. There's a lot of opportunity. There's more money coming in every single day. Elon Musk got on board with it. A big shout out and an alert to my people in Northern California who've been so affected by the fires, the 3 huge fires in the last few years. The fire in Santa Rosa area, the fire in Redding, 70 miles from where I grew up, and then the fire in Paradise, really 15 minutes from where I grew up. Like, there's a lot of people hurting. So if you're in that area and you got a long-term business and you're trying to just make ends meet, like, reach out. There's going to be some good opportunities, not just with the Barstool Fund, but with some other stuff that we're going to be doing in the area to get some help. That probably the government at this point is is not gonna give you. We've seen, they drop a 500-page bill and millions and in some cases billions of dollars going to other countries. Like, it's not like they're keeping this money back on the home front for
Trillions, I think, at this point. I think it's trillions at this point. And by the way, Aaron, I also donated as well. Whenever I saw you do it, I thought it was beautiful because you getting involved with it will bring others into it. The fact Elon's in it, it's people helping people, private citizens helping private citizens, and it's a beautiful thing. We appreciate the hell out of it.
Hell yeah.
Good on you and the boys.
Hey.
I'm not surprised.
Hey, you should run for president, maybe. I mean, I'm sure people have told you that. Very well spoken, handsome man, accomplished man.
Very intelligent.
Hey, dude, let me be the press secretary though. If that happens, can I be the press secretary? Come out every single day.
First, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. I don't know if this is out yet, but one of my idols growing up was Alex Trebek. And being able to be on Jeopardy years ago, even though my wardrobe outfit wasn't the greatest choice.
No, it doesn't matter. Everybody's dress is very bad on that show.
They're doing some guest hosting spots, and it's going to be released here pretty soon. But I have the opportunity to do one of those.
Let's go! Did you watch Ken last night? Ken?
No, I didn't see Ken last night. I was watching some film and checked in on the college football championship as well for a little bit. But I'm excited about that opportunity with Jeopardy.
You're going to crush it. Ken Jennings did everything that he could last night. Good show. Show must go on. Jeopardy's too good. I also am a watcher. Would never want to go on the show because I get one right maybe every 30 minutes. So not really my thing, but I can't wait to watch your episode. Pumped about it. Let's talk about the game this weekend that you were watching film on. Everybody's talking about, obviously, Devontae and Jalen. And then you talk about Aaron Donald, who's an absolute monster, and that Rams defense. And who knows what's going to happen on the other side of the ball. You don't have to worry about that. What are your thoughts about this Rams team coming into Lambeau? I mean, they seem to be pretty stacked on that defensive side.
Yeah, well, they hit a rough stretch late in the season, where they lost a few games in a row and came down to week 17 with a win or potentially go home scenario. And they came out and played a really good football game and beat Arizona to get in. And then obviously they played really well against an opponent they know and played against, twice a year. It's a really talented team, on both sides of the ball. On defense, you have, a generational type player in Aaron Donald. And pretty much the same for Jalen as well. I remember playing against him as a rookie in Jacksonville years ago, and he was playing nickel most of that game. But you could just tell with that body type and that wingspan, his ball skills, he was going to be really special. And he's obviously turned into one of the top guys in the league. And he's, as opposed to some guys on the show I've teased about not being great trash talkers, I think he's probably a pretty good trash talker.
Oh, yeah. He's gotten some folks, playing with him, playing against some Colts, Jags or whatever, getting a chance to listen to Jay. That's why I always enjoyed him. Like, this dude is a showman out here, too. Like, this guy, uber competitive, but also a showman. I enjoy it a lot. Are you growing a playoff beard?
Yeah, I'm letting it go a little bit.
I'll do the same. Are we doing playoff beards?
Yeah, why not? I can't really tell if yours is coming in a whole lot, but if the mustache grows better, then maybe just stick with the mustache, Pat.
No, mustache is bad. If I could grow
at least one guy on your staff who can grow a killer mustache.
Ty Schmidt, he actually
almost came in with it. I did.
That was the entire thought. Ty, what do you got?
Aaron, obviously everyone always talks about Lambeau, how cold it's going to be and everything. Can you remember what it was like being a NorCal guy, like the first time you played there? Like, how tough is that going to be for Goff or some of those other guys? Because there's really no way they can replicate what it's going to be like, right?
Yeah, it's tough just because there's so many different factors, I think, that you have to deal with, not just the footing, but the humidity and how the ball feels on your hand, how the ball comes off, if there's any type of precipitation, which in this case, based on the weather, would be snow. That changes how the ball comes off as well. So there's a lot of things that you got to try and figure out in a short amount of time. The ball definitely feels differently as it gets below 30, which we're expecting on Saturday afternoon, evening. So it's definitely a change. I remember we didn't have a lot of late games in 05 and 06, but in 07, we had a couple that I would say miserable games. I was on the sidelines for both, but we played in Chicago, which is one of the coldest environments ever. I mean, we always talk about the frozen tundra, but the frozen lake effect of Chicago is tough.
Oh, yeah. Underrated.
In 07, late in the year, we played in Chicago, and it was gusting to 50 miles an hour. And I remember walking on the field in pregame with Favre, and the field was so crunchy and long, you could make an indent, and it was like a 4 or 5 inch indent in the surface. I was thinking, man, are we gonna actually play on this field? And I was so damn cold on the sideline the entire time. And then, we made a run with the NFC Championship and played in minus 24 wind chill against the Giants that year. That was brutal as well. I didn't play in either of those 2 games, so I didn't know what it was like necessarily to play in that type of environment, but it was really, really cold. Then in 2008, my first real cold game, we played in Chicago on a night game later in the season, and the night before it was minus 40, and I was thinking, how the hell are we going to play minus 40? And it warmed up to the wind chill of minus 16 that night. That's definitely a shock to the California.
Did you get hypnotized?
My body.
Did you get hypnotized? Because you said last week we asked about it because of how big of an advantage it is for everybody to have to go through Lambeau. In the way you played in that blizzard the other week, you almost played better, and you said that you embrace the suck, basically. You think it sucks less than other people do. Was there like a real thing you had to go through to get to that, or did it just naturally come whenever you started competing?
Well, it wasn't any hypnotism per se.
I heard it works.
It was mental gymnastics for sure. A lot of it is in your mind. It's the saying "mind over matter." I think definitely does apply when it gets really, really cold, because there's some things you can do that don't help, and one is stand by the heater, because you're making that extreme from the warmth you feel standing next to that warm heater spewing out some 100-degree heat to going back on the field when it's in the negative wind chill temperatures. That extreme actually makes you colder. So you have to be smart about how much your body temperature fluctuates, and that's just something I've learned over the years.
My move, because I didn't have to go out on the field much, was I would get one of those big burqa-like thing, or what are those things? Yeah, big thing. And I'd turn it backwards, sit on the heated bench. So then that thing's locking me in there. Ooh. And then whenever it was like second and long, and it looked like it was about time, I would take that thing off, just sprint down to where I had to be, go punt, then we're heading right back into the igloo, my friend. Heading right back in there. But I didn't have to actually play. So there's a couple different worlds there. I know we have to let you go. You're in the middle of a massive time. Good luck this weekend. Did you also hear that every piece of alien information that our government has been released today?
Yep.
Today?
Yeah. It was,
CIA released over like 10,000 documents about it.
Yeah, we had.
Give me the cliff notes, because that's
literally just got released. So you're learning. We know as much as you do. Connor did do a quick scan. There was one particular page that was downloaded like 1.4 million times. So there seems to be a couple pages that have really caught some attention out there.
And what are they saying? They're among us, I'm assuming, or
you'd be one of them.
What did they actually disclose? I know there's a 180-day thing that was put into this 500-plus page stimulus package that they have to, an addendum that they have to like release some sort of information. There's been a lot of talk about disclosure over the last many years. I'd be surprised if there's any mass disclosure at this point. But as you know, Pat, as we've talked about, they're out there.
I talked about your orange ball going through the sky with the fighter jets, how I wish that would happen to me one evening, because I'm so in. Now, Elon, your guy, you're probably going to meet him now with this whole thing popping off. Elon, he's pumping out starships every 3 days, $5 million per. It can hold like 100 and some tons of whatever, LEO. It's cheap to be made. And if you can't afford it, no big deal. Hop in, send yourself to Mars. You can earn it back by planting some seeds on fucking Mars out there. I mean, we are in a wild time, Aaron.
What a great time to be alive.
Huh? Good luck this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. What a guy, dude. Mm-hmm. So we're doing playoff beards.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
Okay, good. So that helps me a lot. You know what I mean? So I just don't have to act like I even want to do anything right now.
I might come in with a stash tomorrow.
We'll see.
You have to do a playoff stash.
Have to do a playoff stash. Have to do it.
I think probably so.
I thought he had to get hypnotized, by the way. Because if those first 2 games you're walking on the field, like, are we even able to play here? And then all of a sudden you become the guy in the cold. Yeah. That's amazing that he has that type of mental control where he's like, nah, not that cold, no big deal. It sucks more for them than it does for me. Let's go ahead and dominate and play better than I even play whenever it isn't this cold.
There really is no way they can replicate that, though, right? Because they're not going to be going to Green Bay early to, like, get a practice in or anything. So, like, for a couple of those guys, that'll be the first. I mean, I know last week it was kind of cold in Seattle, but I feel like it's a completely different ball game game.
The thought of them turning on the air conditioner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll get you out there in LA. You know what I mean? Open up the window so you get a breeze off the ocean, then turn the air conditioning on the other side. Create a little thing. Yeah, you can't replicate it. Just like you can't replicate the Miami humidity either whenever you're potentially traveling south from a northern team as well.
Patriots tried to do that. They would practice indoors, turn the heat all the way up to like 80. Just start running.
That's what I'm talking about. You're going to appreciate, you'd be thankful for this whenever you're dying on Sunday. Aaron's playing on Saturday. That's why Tuesday, big work day, because every day gets moved up. Today is Wednesday, which is heavy workload day. I'm excited for their game. And it's crazy because, and we were talking before we got in here, back when the Chargers had Phillip Rivers and they were going to go on a tear. Remember, they didn't have home field advantage. They had to travel on the road. They get a win in Wild Card Weekend. Then they were supposed to go to New England and dominate New England because people hadn't watched New England play for like a week. And they had seen what Phillip Rivers and the Chargers got, which was very hot. And it's almost, we live in such a what have you done for me lately society that you completely forget even 1 week to the next because somebody steals the show. It feels like that's potentially a thought. I mean, a lot of people think the Packers are going to win here, but I guess it's getting fake Rams hot in the gambling world. I guess there's people thinking that the Rams have a legitimate shot. In my eyes, I don't know how Green Bay doesn't win by 14-20 here. Honestly, I have no idea how they don't. What's that?
Tony's all in on Rams.
I'm the only one, though. So.
Yeah, but that's why Tone's in on the Rams. Because all of us are on the Packers.
Else.
And Tone is very hot, though. Tone is very, very hot. Why are you in on the Rams? What do you think?
I just think that their defense matches up well strictly because if Jalen could take away Devontae, I would like to see what the other weapons that we talked about in the offseason, that they need more weapons, see how they do. And then the Packers' one weakness has always been the defending the run, and Cam Akers went off for like 170 last week.
That is interesting. That is very interesting because it doesn't really matter who's playing quarterback then if they're just going to run the rock the entire time.
I would like to clarify, I don't think the Rams will win.
6.5, though, too much.
But then we talked about the cold weather, and I just pulled this up. Since entering the league, Goff has played twice in weather under 30 degrees. He's a 34.5 passer rating, 47% completion percentage, 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. On the other hand,
very good.
Rodgers has played in 6 of these games since 2016, throwing 10 touchdowns to 1 interception, 108 passer rating, and 65.8 completion rate.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. There it is.
That's what we were talking about. That was actually the hypnotist actually got brought up because of that whole thing. I don't know. We got to get to a break. We got Jarvis Landry on the other side. Cannot wait to chat with him. Aaron broke some news. Going to be the Jeopardy host one day.
Yeah,
yes. Awesome.
He's going to do great. Obviously, that would have to be postseason. Can't wait to see what he chooses to wear. Last night, Ken Jennings hosted the first post-Alex Trebek Jeopardy, led off the show talking about how impossible of a job basically he has and how much he misses Trebek. Got a little bit emotional and then moved along. I assume they're not just going to hang with Ken Jennings forever.
I don't think so.
They said they're going to have numerous guest hosts. Congrats to Ken Jennings on a good job on night one. Can't wait to see that guy, though. Host this thing in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to dominate.
Oh, yeah.
How about that, though? Because he said numerous times, I don't know if it was on air or off air, but I'll say, I think he wants to give it a go with, like, not just the celebrity Jeopardy. He would like
the real one.
He said, excuse me, I would like to, this is fun, okay, but how about we maybe drop me into, let's see how me and old Jeopardy James fare in the hand-eye coordination.
I'll kick Mr. Wonderful's ass every single day of the week.
No problem at all.
That's fine. Give me, Jimmy Holzhauer.
I'm a big Jeopardy guy, strictly because I believe it is an evening celebration of humility. Whenever you think you have it figured out, watch Jeopardy. You don't know a fucking thing.
Nope.
Wheel of Fortune, though, that's my shit.
Sign me up.
That is, I will spin that wheel, and the people that buy vowels when you don't need them want to slap them in the mouth. Get off the screen. Do you even watch a show? Please don't take up that spot if you haven't watched a show. Then you turn on Jeopardy. Trebek's normally on there, absolutely crushing it, rest in peace. And then just questions are fired at me and all the things I missed throughout my entire life. That's what it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
I learn a lot, and then I forget it immediately afterwards.
It's entertaining, though.
Hell yeah.
And when you get one, you feel like a genius.
I got a Final Jeopardy one.
Ooh, jeez.
Are you kidding me? If I would ever get there, because I wouldn't, because I would have negative money, so I'd get banned. But if I ever made it to Final Jeopardy and I got it right, man, the celebration would be huge. Those are impossible. Ty crushes them, though. Nobody else does that I've ever met. Aaron Rodgers. Jarvis Landry's on the other side. The Juice will talk about the successful evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Sunday without a head coach and what they're looking forward to this weekend. This is the Pat McAfee Show, January 12th, 2021.
Last night I was roaming around Canal and Bourbon, and there was a lot of purple. And when you get in that Mercedes-Benz Dome, and it starts getting loud and it gets rompous, obviously, not only for momentum and swings like that it can help, but for the defensive line to get a jump. I think that is a big deal. A lot of freak athletes on the field, and kickers are a spectacle no matter what happens. Whenever you're in those high-pressure moments, you normally fall back on your fundamentals. You normally fall back on your technique. You try to take your brain out of it. Cade York hits a beautiful ball.
One person up in the parking garage. Two people.
And think about him warming up right now. There's just three dudes in suits breaking down every single move he makes during his warm-up. What a wild scene here for Trevor Lawrence.
Quarterback, number 9, Joe Burrow.
You're supposed to be some draft expert, and you say Joe Burrow was a 5th-round draft pick before this year. Now he's number 1 overall. What do you know? What do you know, Todd? Tim, you are so handsome, it's ridiculous. What do you think has been happening in this first quarter? Why has Joe Burrow been stumped by this Clemson defense?
I think Brent Venables is the best DC in the country, and it's honestly not a shock to me. He did this to Tua last year.
Odell Beckham just stopped by.
Odell's very excited.
Odell's happy with the 52-yard attempt coming from the kid from Clemson. I've seen Odell make this with a spinning ball. And BT Potter puts it through from 52 in Odell's. Not in your face. It wasn't in your face. It wasn't in your face. You weren't looking at it.
That's a career high for BT Potter.
Bro, imagine Joe Burrow just having to stand in there and know that Isaiah Simmons is scot-free right in your suckle. That's a bad call. No chance Alberto Riveron would turn that over. He was in the Buccos organization.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
One fight at a time, fellas.
The Pat McAfee Show.
That's right.
Welcome back. That's right. Bangers only, especially now. Joining us now is a man that had 92 yards and a tud on Sunday night in a wild card victory for a franchise that hasn't had a playoff win in 24 years. Ladies and gentlemen, 5-time Pro Bowler, wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, Jarvis Landry.
Yeah!
What's going on, dude?
What's going on?
Hey, you're doing something awesome. I'd like to talk about it because you're doing something awesome.
All right, go ahead.
I like what you did there. Let me get this straight. So you're doing a Jarvis Landry Game On sweepstakes. One winner will receive, listen to this, signed, personalized Jarvis Landry jersey.
Okay.
A Sony PlayStation PS5.
What?
Spray ground luggage. No idea what that is. Probably have a deal with them. I bet it's fucking awesome luggage. What? And a 15-minute Zoom call or 1-hour streaming session with Jarvis Landry on mutually agreed upon date, and 2 tickets to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Sweepstakes live now until February 15, 2020. All donations proceeds will directly benefit the Jarvis Landry Building Winners Foundation. The Jarvis Landry Building Winners Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to positively impacting the lives of children and families facing socioeconomic disparities and or chronic health conditions, cystic fibrosis. Shout out to you. To get involved in that, NFLauction.nfl.com/Jarvis Landry Game On. Hey, I'm going to sign up for that.
Yeah.
What is
Make sure you do.
What is Spray Ground Luggage?
Man, it's a company that I've been with, man, since I got into the league. I have a great relationship with them. You know, they're family, really. And we have a great partnership going on. So I'm excited to be able to have them a part of this.
Okay, awesome. Go to NFLauction.nfl.com/Jarvis Landry Game On, and one winner will win all of that awesome shit. Let's get to it. Hey, won a playoff game in Cleveland. Hey, we talked earlier in the year, and it was about how the tide seemed to be turning for the Cleveland Browns. The culture shift seemed to be there. And I asked you, obviously, about how you felt about being one of the pillars of that culture changing. We all saw that on Hard Knocks. And then now here we are. You said it was kind of an entire building type thing. You go into Pittsburgh without your head coach, without numerous other people, against division rival, longtime rival. Obviously, the Browns is the Brown comment. Get a win on the road. I mean, that had to be one of the best trips back to Cleveland after that game in the history of traveling with the NFL, or could you guys not even really celebrate because of COVID protocols?
Yeah, we couldn't really celebrate because of COVID, man, but I think that was one of the best locker room experiences that I've had, after a win since I've been in the league. And it was a big one. It's a huge one for the city, for us as players, and obviously with all the things that's going on, circulating from the COVID to losing guys and things like that. You know, it was a big win for us.
How involved was Stefanski last week? Was it like a voice of God-like thing? Did they have him on a little robot? What was, because I see that tied Peyton Manning on the Segway, basically, where they're saying, like, drop your... Was Stefanski on a Segway that you guys were just rolling around? How did that work last week with the head coach being out?
Man, pretty much everything was pretty much the same. I mean, we only practiced one time last week, and I think that was for like maybe an hour. So that was the only time we could get in the building. So everything we did was virtual. And obviously, being that it was virtual, he was able to be on all of the calls. Obviously, he took a step back and let coaches that were going to be a part of the game, coach. But, he still put his input in and things like that. And, we knew what we were playing for. We knew what we had to go do.
At this point of the season, how nice was the all-virtual week? I mean, granted, not great. Can't get into building, circumstances. But as pretty obvious, earlier in the year, when the Titans lost to the Bills, I forget, it was a Tuesday night game or something. The Titans couldn't practice for like 9 days straight or whatever, and then they played and they won, and that was when the Bills were hot. I remember a lot of former players and current players coming out and saying, we've been saying this whole time, practice is bullshit. We've been saying this whole time, we don't need to be practicing or whatever. You guys, this late into the season, I would assume that a week off with, I mean, granted, mentally you guys had to be dialed into the Zoom calls and everything like that. Had to feel pretty good for the body and recovery. Is that something you guys are going to repeat this week? You're like, all right, we're not practicing for the rest of the year. Let's go ahead and run this thing?
Yeah, see, I don't know how it's going to work. I think it just worked out that way. And again, which calls you to be on the details even more when you're just on those Zoom calls and you're not getting those live reps, And at the same time, I think for us, going into this week, we want to be able to practice. We want to be able to get out there and get some of the soreness out and things like that. So, that's part of it. I'm a guy who I love to practice. So I love to be out there. I love to practice. But, if the week came down to being a similar week like last week, I'll take it.
Man, you just said like everything that every fan would hope that a player on their team would say. Like, I assume you know that, right? Like, I love to practice, which, by the way, for me, if I didn't practice, I felt like I was going to be shit on Sunday. I think there's a lot of guys that feel that way, and there's some guys that can just take G days and take days off and everything like that. If I had a bad game, I wouldn't be able to do that. But hearing your star player say, like, I love to practice, I want to get out there, Cleveland is so lucky to obviously have you over there. AVP, is that what you guys call him? Because it was right there on his mask. He had a hell of a night. Can you talk about him being a part of the game, the sideline conversation, the halftime conversation, the adjustments? Did you guys expect that from him, just knowing the type of guy? Because Aaron Rodgers, who was with him in Green Bay, was like, oh, AVP is going to crush it, basically. Did you guys know that you guys had a weapon in him, and did you think he was going to be able to do what he did on Sunday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think he wouldn't be a part of this staff. I mean, just like knowing Kevin and how he put together this staff, I think that, like, the chemistry between those two guys are extremely important, and it's been a part of our success, obviously. Obviously Kevin's been calling the plays, but I think the good changeup of having AVP, a guy who knows the offense, a guy who knows, what to expect out of a defense that the Steelers are playing, being that he had been in the division, between the Bengals and here and stuff like that. So he knew what to expect, and he could put his own twist on things. So, I don't think they could have get a good beat on what we were doing offensively, and that definitely was to our benefit.
Hey, are there times when you line up and you're looking at because wide receiver, obviously, you're dependent upon the quarterback seeing the same thing you're seeing, knowing that you're open and throwing you the ball and accurately and everything like that. But is there times where you look at a potential defense in the way it's set up and you go, oh, this ball is coming to me and I'm about to make a big play?
Yeah, that's like every time I line up, I think that. No cap, for real.
So when you saw Bob Spokane lined up over top of you, you knew that there was a potential problem for old Spillane. Like, hey, Spillane, good player, huge neck, hits very hard, but you were in some deep shit, right? That's immediately upon lining up. You think that all the time?
Yeah, I think that was just one of the things, again, AVP being in this division, knowing, predicting coverages and things like that, and then trying to formulate these mismatches. And, we got an opportunity to make a play, and we did.
How did you guys react to the Browns as the Browns? Obviously, we saw that it was a storyline. When was the first time? Was it on a Zoom call? I guess it had to be on a Zoom call where maybe before here's a question. These Zoom calls, are they like team meetings? Like everybody's in there and then you're waiting for the coach to get there so there's some side chatter? Or as soon as you get in there, is it directly quiet?
Yeah, usually coach is on there. Everything's quiet, and we just wait for him to speak, and then we break off into our individual meetings.
And in those individual meetings, you guys saw the Browns as the Browns, and that was when everybody talked about it?
Yeah, Liz, I don't think it was something that everybody talked about, but I know that everybody saw and felt some type of way about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you didn't have to say on game day, like, hey, they talking shit over there, or saying shit, you know what I mean? It was just like one of those things that was understood, and we knew what we had to do, like I said.
The Browns, by the way that, I don't know if he directly meant it, but the way like Steelers fans talk, and a lot of people talk about the Browns being the Browns, is like, hey, this team is going to have potentially a good roster, but they're inevitably going to stink. You guys have completely flipped that. The football team that you guys have become this year has been awesome to watch. It's just absolutely awesome to watch. If other programs or franchises are trying to do that, what is the most important thing? You just got to get a bunch of guys to buy in. You got to have a guy who's a leader of your team, who's not scared to yell at his position group if they suck in the middle of training camp, and then he also loves practice. Like, what do you need to kind of flip around a program? Because you were there before, and then you're there now. What do you think is vital to the whole process?
First of all, I think it's leadership. Top down, and making sure that, I think the biggest thing, like for me being here, just the lines of communication. I think that, you've been in a prestigious organization, a historic organization where, some things when you're a younger player, you don't even pay attention to, things don't go on. And as you get older, you start to be more aware and tied into, things that's happening around the building. So I think that for me, recognizing this year, I think the leadership is obviously there. The experience is there. We had a younger team when I first got here, so I think the experience is there. The leadership is there. And, I said this yesterday on Twitter, like I've been always one of those guys that have always believed in like wanting to see people reach like the best that they can be. You know what I mean? And then from there, being able to give them that mentality or help them create the mentality or whatever they need to have the confidence to do that consistently. And what I mean by that is just like being able to like, hey, like if it's a guy who likes to be quiet, then all right, I need to figure out a way to get him in that zone. If there's a guy who likes to talk shit, I need to figure out a way for him to be able to talk his shit whenever he want to talk his shit.
And if there's a guy that loves money, let's figure out a way to motivate this guy if he's in it for the money. If this guy's in it for the game, it's all types of that type of stuff.
Exactly. And you know this. You again, you've been in that type of organization, you know, and around these type of guys. Every guy is different. You know, you can't do the same thing with every guy, you know, and I believe that when that becomes contagious and when, you know, your tight ends, now they think that way. Your running backs think that way now. Your DBs think that way now. You know, that's the standard, you know, and we've been able to create a standard here with the leadership that we have that's turned things around for us.
I always enjoyed that. Whenever I had like a coach, assistant coach, who was like, that guy's only in it for the money. It's like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, like, if he's only in it for the money, let's figure out how to make him feel like, okay.
He's here.
Yeah, like, hey, you're in it for the money. Okay, you make more tackles, dude. Listen, you're going to get more money. Hey, you're going to get more money, dude. Let's go. I don't care why you're here. Let's figure out how to make the best. Jarvis, man, you know, you sound like Mos Def a little bit. People tell you that?
No, nobody's never said that.
The first time I was talking to you, I heard Mos Def the entire time we were talking, and I was like, I don't know if this is a shot or not. This time you start talking again, I'm like, I can't. My mouth is just like, has to fucking say it. So you sound exactly like Mos Def. Compliment, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, Jarvis, there was a report about Baker Mayfield saying that he had to actually introduce himself to a couple guys on game day. Was there any time you were on the sideline cheering and you didn't even know who you were cheering for, and then you had to introduce yourself to them on the sideline?
Man, I would say, and I don't want to get my man name wrong, so I'm going to say his number is 62, Hance, I think his last name is. I saw him in the locker room before the game and had no idea, like, who he was. I'm not going to lie. And then he actually came into the game, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm playing. But, I mean, listen, man, he came in and immediately, J.C. Treader, again, a guy who's a leader. I think he played with A-Rod a little bit in Green Bay, you know, so he knows what it's like. And, you know, he took them immediately and talked to him through protections and things like that. I think it was his first day, dude. I don't even think he was even in the meeting this week.
Any conversation about it being a playoff game and, like, did you feel any difference in the team's mentality, or is it, you know, the cliche that everybody won their division, they got the one not done with the WON, and everybody's talking about how this isn't enough, but you guys get in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. You have a chance to win the first playoff game in 24 years. Was it a different mentality going into the game, or did it feel as if it was a regular season game? Like, do you feel as if your Browns team is incredibly comfortable with success at this point? It's like, hey, we got work to do. Does it feel like that?
Yeah, a lot of it does feel like that. You know, a lot of it does feel like, hey, like, you know, the game's over, celebrate for an hour, you know, and then it's like everybody got that look in their eyes again, you know, and that never satisfied type of attitude is something that it's going to take. I mean, because you think about teams that, you know, go on their runs and, you know, get excited and think that they're going to win the Super Bowl, and, you know, they go 1-5 to finish the season. You know what I'm saying? So I think for us, we got to continue to be never satisfied, and that's something that I see in every guy's eyes after the game, and I think that's something to be excited for.
What do you stream on Twitch? You stream on Twitch? What do you do?
Twitch, YouTube.
What do you play?
Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty and 2K.
Oh, you just kill people, huh? You're just sniping people.
Yeah, taking it out on them.
You're good, huh?
Yeah, Car 90 Juice. That's what they call me, headshot. Yeah.
Do you talk shit the entire time too, or is it a quiet game?
A little bit.
Hey,
nobody know who I am on here, so now they do, but nobody know who I am on here. So
hey, if you ever get in the Oculus arena, just want to let you know that's where I battle. Okay, that's where I do battle at, in the Oculus.
UFC?
Huh?
UFC?
No, the Oculus.
Virtual reality.
Oh, bro. I was never a gamer. I stink. I can't control my life with two thumbs. I get car sick in there, and I get killed immediately upon entering into any little world that you have to enter. It's a fucking terrible time. Always has been, always will be. This Oculus thing, though, I'm all in, Jarvis. You play ping pong against people from all over the world, and it feels like actual ping pong.
Man, I never did it before. I was tempted to buy one of those things, but I never did it before. Maybe I'll do it now.
I gave them too much free advertising. You should fucking do it. It's unbelievable. Ty, what do you got?
Jarvis, how much do you guys relish being the underdogs? Because it seemed like last week, you guys were obviously confident, but with all the people being out due to COVID and everything, no one was giving you a shot against the Steelers. And then now it seems like it's the same thing. It's like, you guys are going against the defending champions and the Chiefs. Like, no one's giving you a shot. How much do you guys relish taking that on?
Yeah, you guys are going to get smacked or whatever.
Yeah, listen, man. Again, that's been part of the outside perspective of the Browns since I got here. You know what I mean? Obviously, maybe it's been, the thing around the Browns. Nobody really wants to play for the Browns in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I think when I got here, I always understood that we were going to always be the underdog. We was going to always be the team that everybody expected to lose the game or whatever it was. So I think now that guys just don't pay attention to it, we know what we got, we know who we are, and we've been ignoring the noise. And that's part of, any great team. You got to ignore the noise, success or failures.
Have you talked to OBJ at all? Has he been in contact? Is he in the Zoom? Does he have any contact still with the team or anything like that?
Yeah, me and him talk. I'm sure he talks to other guys as well.
He snipes too, right? I've seen highlights of him just killing people out there too.
Yeah, he that boy. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are good, huh? Is he better than you? You guys battle?
Yeah. Listen, man. We be on the same team. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare that.
Smart. LSU.
just put the
no,
exactly.
Cleveland.
Exactly. Smart. All he sees is the wins, baby.
Jarvis, we appreciate your time, man. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, we really do appreciate your time when you come on here. I know you don't do a lot of interviews or whatever, so I appreciate you.
No, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you guys, man.
No problem.
Keep going at it, too. I love y'all.
Hey, we appreciate that. See you in the Oculus Arena, dude. I'm fucking unbeatable at ping pong on there. Just want
to we don't see you, man.
Hey, once again, NFLauction.nfl.com/Jarvis Landry game on. You could potentially win a signed jersey from him, a PS5, some luggage, a 15-minute Zoom call, or 1 hour streaming sesh with Jarvis as you're killing people.
Yeah.
On whatever device, just sniping people's heads off. Alongside maybe Odell. Hey, who knows? Who knows? It might happen. Might happen. Who knows? And 2 tickets to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles coming up. That's awesome, Jarvis. Appreciate you, man. Jarvis Landry, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! He's really good at the football.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He's an intense guy, too, I think.
Yeah.
Like whenever he plays or whatever. He's got to be. I love practice, he said. And I always thought if I didn't practice, I would just suck, Like it was almost to a point where I had to dial it back as opposed to do it just because I didn't have a lot of confidence in my ability to do my job because I had just learned how to do it when I got drafted into the NFL. Mm-hmm. There's other players, Robert Mathis, he was a guy that practiced literally every single day. I think he felt as if he had to. It was awesome to see him. And then there were some players that took days off or whatever and they still balled on Sunday. It's interesting how you kind of got to hey, however you perform the best in games, let's go ahead and do it. Now, granted, if you do no practice and do your thing and you suck, that's not going to last long. Yeah. But if you show up and do your job, who cares? Hey, who cares if you're out there on Wednesday or Thursday or not? But then there's a lot of guys that feel the same way he does. It's need to be out there on the grass, boys.
Mm-hmm. I liked what he said, too. You always talk about it, managing, 53 different guys, having different motivations, and, everyone's got an ego. Everyone needs, a different way to actually be their best, and you really don't hear that too often.
Well, it's real because people always, he's only in it for the money. It's who gives a fuck? At least he's in it. Yeah. Hey, he's in it, right? Hey, pal, you play better, we play better, we win. Guess what? More money. Mm-hmm. More money. I've had a lot of those conversations with guys that played special teams around the NFL because they're getting cut from a team each week. So it's not like they're invested in the team that they're currently at. They're just hey, I'm just trying to make some money here. I'm all right, this is what we're going to do then. Hey, I just need you to just beeline right for this dude right here. Yep. We'll take care of everything else, and let's keep you around. Sounds good. And let's get you rich, by the way. Yeah. Let's get you all the fucking money. You got it. Hey, you might be all pro by the end of this whole goddamn thing. And make, how much money you're going to make doing that? A lot. Millions we're talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll see you. And then you go to somebody else and go, that guy doesn't even know what team he's currently on, but he's going to get a lot of fucking money. And that's currently at the other. Who cares? It's kind of an interesting thing. That Browns team, though, incredible turnaround from being a complete laughing stock of everything Laughingstock. Yeah. On Hard Knocks, getting mocked every single Monday immediately after the Hard Knocks or whatever. I mean, it was very interesting turnaround. What's up, Diggs? You didn't ask any questions, Jarvis.
Yeah, well, that was weird.
You answer, or you asked the question that I was going to ask.
What was the question?
About the Browns is the Browns.
Oh, yeah, we heard it.
Corvette.
What's Corvette?
That's the song.
You know.
That's Juju's
song.
Tony.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not on TikTok.
Juju's theme song.
Oh, by the way, that made its way off of TikTok. Into where we are.
Music stinks, so.
Corvette. Interesting that they chose Corvette to be the name of that song, because there's 7 to 8 different titles potentially, because there's just random sentences getting thrown in there.
Exactly.
That's music, though. Great dance song, though.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
One of the best.
Find a good logo.
Oh my God, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
Corvette, dude. Let's go to Mike in Connecticut. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, not too shabby, pal. What do you want to talk about?
That's what I'm talking about. So Alabama obviously put on a show, Najee Harris, Smith, and everybody. Are they like a professional caliber team? Would they beat the Jets or the Jags?
Awesome, Mike. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
The Jags are tanking, then
Yeah.
maybe.
Jags beat the Colts this year. Let's remember that.
Oh.
True.
Okay? Gardner Minshew out there. As somebody who has seen somebody very close to me say that a college team could beat an NFL team, and then the statements that were said to that person from professional athletes in the NFL, I just don't think there's ever going to be, and I've always felt this way, obviously, there will never be a college football team that'll beat an NFL team. That's just, these are grown men with football IQs that are about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 times what every college football player is, just because they haven't spent their entire life dedicating to football yet. That's the big difference. Not only is the physicality difference, now, I assume Alabama, from a 40 standpoint and a measurable standpoint, could stack up with a team. I mean, they are unbelievable. But from a football IQ standpoint, Devontae Smith's going to have a tough time probably getting off the line, if I had to guess. There'd be a lot of jams and rubs and reroutes and things like that. Mac Jones would then have to be able to read a NFL defense that is being run by somebody who's probably getting paid millions of dollars to draw up schemes. It's a different level of football. It's just two different things. So I'm not saying that Alabama doesn't have, the starters that'll play in the NFL, because they are obviously loaded. But playing against an NFL team, you're playing against, the Jets almost beat the fucking Chiefs, I think. No, the Raiders. The Jets almost won a couple games.
Beat the Rams.
They have Frank Gore, by the way. We're playing running back. It's a very, there's levels to this whole thing. And that's what that person who was close to me that said that the Alabama team could potentially beat an NFL team.
Well, you corrected him. You always say, it's a men's league.
It's a men's league. Welcome to varsity. Yeah. There's only a few of us. We get paid handsomely. And who knows how your career is going to go, but hopefully you'll make $1 billion. Yeah. Let's go to Brent down there in Maryland. What's going on, Brent?
Hey, Pat. How you doing? Shout out to your Colts for giving the Bills a game this past weekend.
All right. You're right. They covered. It was awesome.
You were Joe Douglas. Which makes the most sense to you, hiring Eric Bieniemy, Joe Brady, or Doug Peterson?
I think if I'm Joe Douglas, I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing at quarterback first. I assume he's sticking with Sam Darnold, and if you're sticking with Sam Darnold and you got that high of a pick, what are you doing with your picks? There's so much on Joe Douglas's plate, and I think whenever we see who he hires, we could potentially learn about what he's thinking about doing. If he's bringing in a quarterback. If he's bringing in quarterback whisperer, by the way, Bieniemy and Peterson both from the Andy Reid tree, so they're going to have that style of offense. What quarterback would best fit that? Is it Sam Darnold or is it not? And then who knows who they're going to hire? Who knows who wants the job, right? The Jets organization seems to be one of dysfunction as of late. Who knows if there's another job offered to somebody? Would you rather go to the Jets or would you rather go somewhere else? Everybody's thinking Peterson's going to get that gig because of his relationship with Douglas, but Bob Salah has been interviewed twice twice now with the Jets organization. I'm intrigued to kind of see how it all plays out. What do you got there?
Bieniemy did just officially get an interview request from the Houston Texans.
Whoa.
Who we know Deshaun Watson was hoping for that.
Deshaun got off that boat and said, listen, we settling this or not? Fucking call the guy.
Right now.
All right? And Casario was like, hey, listen, I wasn't even here, man. What do you want? The guy gave me $30 million. I sit down, all of a sudden, you want traded? J.J. Watt wants out. What do you want? What do you want me to do? I want you to interview Eric Bieniemy. Fucking got it. Done. I'll send a Zoom link now. Will you come back in? Can't come back in the building actually right now, but whenever we come back, let's Zoom call all the way through. Let's put our swords down. That's what Casario is trying to do right now. And maybe Bieniemy will be the guy down there. I think a good hire in Philadelphia would be Jim Caldwell. Ooh. By the way, not a bad offensive guy, but maybe the most calm and consistent human I've ever been around when it comes to coaching. Just always the same guy. Maybe provide some stability. I don't know if he's a big enough splash name from what I've been told, potentially going to Philadelphia or even Houston, Jim Caldwell down there. There's another constant down there. I think Jim Caldwell should get a job this year. I would just be excited to see if it works out.
Philly would make sense, too, because Carson Wentz seems like the guy who needs to, someone who's not going to yell at him or, he kind of needs to be coddled. And, if he wants to go hunt on the weekends and not worry about, football at all, he needs that needs to be allowed as well. So maybe that does work.
Will you take it easy? The guy wants to drop a line here and there, okay, out in the pond. All right?
I mean, you know what? He's not a John Deere guy, which is, just on point for him. So it makes sense.
Hey, if it runs like a deer, then her eyes light up.
Nothing runs like a deer.
Nothing. Unless they're paying you to say otherwise, which is what's happened to Carson Wentz. And that sumbitch deer is dead in his eyes. He'll come back around to the green and the yellow.
Yeah, well, if he's smart, he will.
He'll come back. I would like to clear something up, speaking of John Deere. I said that the CFL is state fair football, okay? And some guy in Canada took that as a shot. I want to let you know that is my lady and I have been together 6 years, 7 state fairs, okay? I don't think you understand how much I love state fairs. Taking the normal, adding some shit to it to make it awesome is something that I am a big fan of, okay? You will see me at the Indiana State Fair every single week. This year, rest in peace, did not happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will come back. It is a good time. Where I grew up, we did not have state fairs or anything like that. So once I went to a state fair, I was like, oh my God, this is everything. Games, me versus this, guy who's probably taken meth in the last 24 hours, who's a smooth talker, who is going to shit talk me, and then I'm going to drain this basketball into a hoop that's not supposed to have a basketball go through it because it's been shrunk a little bit. I'm going to go right in his eyeball, and I'm going to say, give me the big fucking furry animal, pal. And I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to shoot a little shotgun, little BB gun that has a crooked thing, and I'm going to try to shoot out the star. And it's not going to work the first time or the second time, but by the third time, I'm going to end up figuring out that goddamn curve, and I'm going to hit that thing. And I'm going to talk shit, and I'm going to say, give me the big one. And I'm going to go right down to the next one. My lady is going to toss ping pong balls into a little fish jar thing, so we have to take home a goldfish that is obviously going to live forever because the house never had. I mean, I am a state fair guy.
You're forgetting deep fried food now.
Oh, the food.
Get started now.
I mean, there's the humans that you can watch. It's a people watching paradise. So whenever Canada got upset about me calling CFL state fair football, I want to let you know. That's you judging state fairs. Yeah. You're fucking wrong, okay?
Football,
state fair football is football with a little bit of shit added to it that makes it awesome. For instance, we're going to make this field 4 miles wide, okay? We're going to move the uprights up front. We're going to score on punts. We're going to have running starts. We're going to have 3 downs. I mean, it's awesome. It's dead, but CFL was awesome. Yes. Anyways, this hour wraps up with no music. We're back on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Lakers, welcome to the Blender, the home of a team and a fan base on a playoff push the likes the world has never seen before. Crescent City, get on your feet for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Sprite, an incredibly refreshing drink. Starting at forward was the number 2 overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. Now he's an NBA All-Star, Brandon Ingram. At forward, this man unstoppable, unstoppable 6'6" phenom, Zion Williamson. At center, standing at 8 feet tall, from Georgia Tech, number 22, Derek Favors. This man's family had a reality show in Lithuania. He was born and raised in LA, but he found his J in Vienna. Lonzo Ball. And the OG of the roster. On the court, he's a monster. Braids hanging, shots banging. It's not Drew, it's Drew Holiday. Let's get this done. Thank you very much. Go Pelicans. Tired of me right now. That's how you play basketball. From the Red Panda. Up we go. Yes! 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 Red Panda! What a legendary moment. You're a legend. It's an honor. All right, so mission accomplished, right? Come down, intro some players, throw some balls to Red Panda, fly back to Indianapolis. Success story, Foxy. What a fucking night.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, you know, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, you know, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on, you don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? You know, I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back here on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, Pat McAfee Show. Aaron joined us an hour ago, but right now joining us, big superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who won a college football national championship as a member of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Wow.
Then he would go on to be Aaron Rodgers' teammate at Green Bay and win a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Mr. AJ Hawk. A to the J, what's going on? Did you see there was some breaking news an hour ago when Aaron joined the show? He will be hosting an episode of Jeopardy. Are you kidding me? An episode of that's awesome. Wow. That's huge news. The internet is a buzzing about it, AJ.
Are they really? Is it truly big news?
Oh yeah. Biggest news out of the conversation by far. Talked about the CIA releasing some alien stuff. That's doing okay. But him announcing, and by the way, we're very thankful that he did this, announcing that he will be guest hosting an episode of Jeopardy. Crushing on it. The Jeopardy people were all pumped about it. Sports people were pumped about it because we don't look like stooges anymore. Nope. Like, hey, in the nerd Super Bowl that we all watch every single night and don't get any questions right, we got one of us going in there who's been good in host. Big shout out to that. And also in honor of one of his idols and guys he looked up, Alex Trebek. I just think it's a really good story. People are loving it, AJ. Loving it.
I mean, it will be interesting. I'm sure he'll love it because he loves Jeopardy. But can you really, I don't know, like, what can you really show your personality or do anything when you're the host?
Talked about this off air. Ken Jennings, I watched last night. He did a great job. But that show has a formula where unless you're incredibly quick and what's that called whenever you get to the point quickly?
Direct.
Unless you're succinct and very quick-witted, I think Trebek, why he was so good, is because he could bury somebody within, a 15th of a second, and it would be with 3 words, and then he would just move the show right along. So, or he'd compliment or something like that. Like, I think that is why Trebek was so, I think, beloved by everybody because it always seemed so effortless. It seemed so genuine, and it was always so quick. And I think Ken Jennings last night did a good job hosting. He led off with an emotional thing, but there's only a few moments in the show where you can really, I think, take it, and we'll see. I think Aaron's going to crush it. I think Aaron's going to absolutely, even in the way you say the answer was right or wrong. Like you could see, like Trebek, the way he goes, no, like like that type of thing. Like Aaron, there's a lot of little things that big Jeopardy fans will be expecting, I assume, in their judgment of how he does. I think he's going to crush it, absolutely slaughter it.
He'll do great. I'm just curious. I can't wait to see when they ask the question or he puts it out there and nobody knows and nobody buzzes in, but he knows the answer and he just cannot believe that people don't realize. Like, are you kidding? Are you guys idiots? Like, I want to know how he holds himself back.
Ken Jennings had a couple no's last night where it was. Come on. There was a couple, what is this, amateur hour? It almost felt like that. It was, I'm a Wheel of Fortune guy myself, but I appreciate Aaron breaking that news. Let's talk about something that's very near and dear to you. Not a lot of humans have had the opportunity to participate in a national championship game. Not a lot of humans have had an opportunity to participate in a national championship game as an Ohio State Buckeye. You've done both. You've won in that situation. Ohio State fans realized they were going to lose that game last night, or was there real optimism after what happened against Clemson, you think, in your eyes, as somebody that lives in the Columbus area still to this day?
I think there was a ton of optimism after the Clemson game. There really was. And
it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. And you could tell, like, it was back and forth early on, and Trey Sermon going out right off the bat after his first carry is tough. But Master Teague looked good. He came in and ran the ball hard. He's a good player. But then, they weren't able to stop Alabama. But guess what? Like, nobody has stopped Alabama's offense all year long. The fewest points they scored was 31 against Notre Dame in the semifinals. So
Yeah, Alabama, they're just on a different level right now.
And I think Ohio State should be pumped with what they accomplished, by the way. They were one of the leading voices alongside some prestigious alumni in bringing Big Ten football back. Obviously, we're talking about the since-retired general, Bob Carpenter, who kind of put his sword down after getting Big Ten football back and didn't really fight for much else. You know what I mean? There's a couple other things he could have went to war for, and he didn't.
He won his battle.
He won his battle getting football back, but the 28-day thing, I think Bob could have went to battle for.
Didn't have the ammunition.
The no moving of games until moving games, I think he could have. But Bob was tired after a hard-fought war to get Big Ten football back. But I think Ohio State, what they did this year, that was a hell of a football. Nobody expected them to beat Clemson the way they did, okay? Northwestern gave them some problems. Indiana gave them some problems. But they were still very young in their season whenever they had those mishaps, which happens to some teams. We forget they started 6 weeks after everybody else or whatever. That team, I think, with a full season, I think they would have been a very, very, very good football team. They were just learning about Trey Sermon in the last couple of weeks, basically. I mean, it was, if they had 3 more weeks, 4 more games, I think they become an even better team, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Now you got to figure out how to replace Justin Fields. But didn't you hear, like, Bill O'Brien is already on his way to become the next offensive coordinator for Alabama?
Yeah, I knew that a week ago, I think, which not a big news breaking show. Should have probably just dropped it in. You know what I mean? Like at some point, we know O'Brien's going to Alabama or whatever. So where's Gase going to go? Because the conversation was either Bill O'Brien or Gase are going down to be the offense coordinator. We had a good source, 2 of them, that told us, nah, Bill O'Brien's basically got that job down there. So we could have went public with that, chose not to, because if we're wrong, you're gone. You know, you're wrong, you're gone in the insider game. But him going down there, Alabama's just going to keep the train rolling, bub. I don't know. Is there ever going to be a team, as long as Nick Saban wants to do this thing, is there ever going to be a team, you think, that is going to be able to consistently just dominate Alabama? I'm not sure. Clemson was supposed to be that team. Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be that guy because they win whenever he's young. Is there ever going to be a team, as long as Nick Saban wants? Like, do you think Ohio State next year, if they figure out a way to replace Fields, which I assume they will be able to, they get 5-star quarterback after 5-star quarterback. Joe Burrow was 5th string at one point there. Do you think there's a chance that Ohio State could get to that level of national championship to dethrone Alabama of the world for a consistent basis if Nick Saban stays down there?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much longer Nick Saban's going to stay. I think it's safe to say as long as he is there, Alabama's going to be in the mix. Like, they're going to always be contending for the national championship. Now, I think Ohio State, they're set up absolutely to continue to challenge them to become the national champ. And I don't know, man. Like, Alabama's so deep. They have so many studs, like, at every level. They have so much team speed. Like, their D-line. Didn't their D-lineman get defensive player of the game, too? Like, they have some guys that they just have guys that aren't even human, it seems like, how they move so well. It's impressive, man.
And they have the culture of guys, like, when they get their opportunity, they want to go. Like, I was 4th string or whatever behind blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And this is a 5-star guy who's like, I got a chance to learn. Like, this year's my year. Now I get a chance to go. It's like there's a lot of pride in that. Like, okay, it's my turn. As opposed to transferring and getting playing time right now. It feels like somehow they've created that culture in that building, too, where it's like the guys are willing to compete, willing to stick around, and then when it's their chance to go, they fucking go. And it's never going to end. I don't know how you recreate that if Nick's not there.
The backup running back for Alabama came in after Najee Harris, and he was unbelievable. He was running guys over, and it was like, wow, they have another all-American running back right behind him. It's just wild.
Well, you remember, I don't know, Trent Richardson would get like spelled, and then Derrick Henry would come in. And there was pictures of Derrick Henry.
Too.
Yeah,
TJ Yeldon.
And they would come in, and it was like in 4th quarter, and they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, next year we got this guy. This guy's coming next year.
Kenyon Drake.
It is just a never-ending thing. You're right. I wonder how long Saban's got. Why not just go ahead and go out on top?
Come on, because he's a coach. What else does he have? To sit there and watch the Weather Channel? Like, he doesn't – he's a coach. Like, coaches coach. Can you imagine Nick Saban getting up with no schedule? She's like, Miss Terry, his wife, like, hey, what are you going to do today, Nick? I don't know, maybe just sip some coffee out on the porch. You want to hang out with me? Maybe read the paper?
I'm going to get on the boat.
Yeah.
What's that, Dick?
If I know Saban, he's going to announce that it's his last year before the season, and then he's going to take his.
Is that a Saban move?
Yeah, for sure.
Really? I didn't know that.
He's definitely
he'll
not.
say he's.
I don't know if that's a Saban
say
move.
he's not leaving, and then he'll quit right before the season.
He did do that to the Dolphins. I think we're all
He
pretty
wants
pumped
fans.
about it.
Yeah.
You got B-Flow out of that, by the way, and Alabama got like 5 championships or whatever.
Saban can do consulting too. Consulting business is just booming. Everybody's going to pay for Saban's brain.
He's got tubes on that boat too. You know, on that speedboat.
That's right.
I mean,
Like grandkids, maybe.
you forget, dude,
What do I forget?
that there's life after football, but not for coaches. Doesn't it? It feels like those coaches that I want to die blowing the whistle.
Yeah. They want to die with the clicker in their hand in their office. They want the head coach to walk in or another coach to walk in, if you are the head coach, and see him dead, clicker on your clicker in your hand, and the film is actually stopped because this guy before he died, he stopped the film.
This man was found clicker in hand. And this is at the funeral, another coach. Coached until his dying breath. That is what we should all aim to be in this building. And all the coaches would be like, yeah, 15-hour days away from amen. Amen. Coaches are just a different breed, man. They are a different breed of humans out there.
That's like their life is, it's unbelievable.
Well, John Gruden started waking up at 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Fired Football Coaches of America or something. And they're like, John, what do you watch? He's everything, man. Just what? Just everything. Every game that's ever happened, I'm watching film. It's like, what? That is what you're doing right now? It's some coaches, I think, try whenever they get fired or they still have contract, they try to become professional golfers. You know, like, I'll just take the money from this team that's paying me. I got 3 more years on my contract. I'll just golf for the next 3 years. I assume they get, 27 holes into that? And they're like, I ain't fucking doing this. Where's the? I got to go get free. Like Butch Jones, for instance. Butch Jones, he was our coach at West Virginia. He was a wide receiver coach. We called him Mini Rod because he was like Rich Rod, but younger, same energy, same enthusiasm, everything like that. He was always very nice to me. He ran the punt team. He was really cool. Guys liked him, but we called him Mini Rod. Then he goes to Central Michigan or something like that. Then he goes to Tennessee. Then he gets fired from Tennessee. Now he's an assistant at Alabama. Last night he was just hanging out on the sideline. Used to be a head coach in numerous places. He's just chilling on that Alabama sideline like, hey, I'm getting paid from another team in the SEC, and I'm down here just winning national. I got rings now, and I'm just hanging out. And then I'll go get another head coaching job whenever the fuck I want. It's a wild thing they got cooking down there.
Yeah, he's taking the Arkansas State job. He got a bunch of FaceTime last night. They showed him talking to Ryan Day before the game, and you're like, okay, if you didn't know, like Butch Jones doesn't have a headset on. I know he's a consultant. I don't think he might not be allowed to wear one. I don't know.
Yeah, he did not have a headset on. There was a lot of interacting going on. I'm like, all right, Butch, look at you mixing it up out there. And by the way, that's how I remembered he was there. I completely forgot he was just working, for free down there, basically. Saban's like, come on down. We'll kind of rehab you, send you out, get a couple national championships, and we get another head coach. Bill O'Brien, come on in.
There you go.
All right, we'll pay you.
Same treatment.
Win a couple national championships, then we'll send you out. Lane Kiffin, come on in. We'll build you back up, and we'll send you out.
Dable was there.
Hey, come on in. We'll build you up, send you out. Kirby Smart. Yeah, all of them, basically. Come on in. We'll send you out. If you're a coach, you're trying to get to Alabama as much as possible. It's like, I will live in my car, dude. Can I just it feels like this is a fast track to a head coaching gig. I did not know Butch is going to Arkansas State.
He's been, they said it last night on the broadcast.
Is that the Red Wolves, dude?
Oh, yeah.
They lost to Coastal Carolina week 1 college football. I know that because I bet on the Red Wolves strictly so I could howl on college game day.
Well, that's a good pick. They are normally a covering machine.
Arkansas State. I thought he would have got a bigger school. Oh, is the Saban rubbing Donald?
Oh, he's already got the ring. So he doesn't want to go
'cause
against Saban.
Sark just got Texas, so.
True.
Oh, true. Very true. Hook him.
He really like rehabbed his whole image. I mean, his ouster at USC was weird.
Okay.
We remember.
The way you have to word that.
He's a grade A booze bag. He's not anymore.
No, I know, but I'm saying everyone loves a comeback story, and Sark was the man last night. Like everything, he got so much good pub because it's true. Like he knows how to call plays offensively. That's for sure.
Everything he called worked all year. The 31 points you said earlier, literally from I think week 2, when I was watching as much college football as possible, and you started seeing the motions, and as soon as they sent somebody in motion, okay, Mac Jones would just diagnose the defense, and then he understood the offense enough to know what was going to be wide open. They didn't miss on much all year. I mean, it was immediately from jump almost. That Alabama team was just humming because there's so many weapons there. And if Sarkisian can take that to Texas, you got to have a quarterback, and you got to have, 6 5-stars at many different positions?
Just about.
If you can recruit, a great quarterback and 5 5-stars that are all going to pan out and be studs in one class, you can turn that place right back around. Sark can be hooking them all over the goddamn place.
The quarterback that came in that replaced Ellinger in the bowl game was 10 times better than Sam Ellinger was.
Yeah, that was a tough out for Sam Ellinger. All those years, we're back, and then the whole thing that happened out there. Hook him, though, dude. Hook him. He loved that, too.
They're coming after they're pilfering Luke Fickell's staff. Marcus Freeman, their coordinator, it just became Notre Dame's defensive coordinator a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw that. What's that? So that means Luke's leaving?
No, Luke's there, but I'm saying, when you win, they come after your staff. That's another hard thing Saban's been able to do, all the turnover, bringing new coaches in because they're all getting hired away. That's another part of coaching people don't think about.
Don't want to hear it, dude. Just go down to your internet and turn it up.
Not on my side.
Or close out a Pornhub.
We talked to Aaron, in Lambeau. In the basement, it looked like.
Yeah.
Completely clear.
Good internet.
Yeah, this issue is not on my
Oh,
side.
right in the middle of it, dude. Right in the middle of it, bro.
I don't know what to tell you, bud.
You don't have to say anything. You just got to go down there and turn that fucking thing up.
How many devices do you have connected to this router?
Jeez Louise, dude.
18?
One. Just this.
We'll call you back during the break, dude. But I think it's probably on our side. I mean, we do 3, 4 a day. Yeah. Normally the only one is yours that doesn't work.
It's on his
typically.
So
no, I'm saying something's going on out there in the universe. Something's happening to where they're slowing this stream down.
Oh, you're talking about the CIA releasing all the documents. You're talking about the aliens just doing this all over the planet Earth and us finding out about it.
Possible.
That's awesome. Aaron would be an alien, wouldn't he? Yeah. If we were to pick human aliens, he would be one that we would say, this guy seems to not be human.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a hybrid.
Oh. Which, by the way, is that in those documents? Maybe. We'll have to scan through the 2,000 plus pages or whatever it is, and we'll be back on the other side. Some phone calls. This song is a little bit down, isn't it? It's a little bit. We need a little bit more energy going in there. Ooh. This is a remix to the open.
Oh, no way.
You know what I mean?
Is this the?
Put your hands
Yeah,
up.
this is
Yeah, dude.
I'm in my zone every day, every night. Another couple shots about to get me right.
I mean, that is
another couple shots.
Too much flames. I don't want to talk over that. You know what I mean?
True.
It's too much.
True.
Too much flam there.
My ears hurt.
1-888 Mad Dog 6 some calls on the other side. Hey, I'm sorry to you Buckeyes over there, dude. Especially if you guys thought you were gonna win. That's wild.
Yeah, it was a tough one, man. They ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, they did.
Guy couldn't even walk. Picked up a big first down against you guys in the first half. Waddled his way right through that defense. I think they could have done whatever they wanted last night.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
They covered the over by themselves damn near. Good for them. All right, 2:20 Eastern Standard Time. We're back in 4 minutes. It's the Pat McAfee Show, January 12th, 2021. We are moments before going out onto the field and kicking some field goals to raise a crap ton of money for the kids. And I'm about to become an old man. Said I do this, then I do this, then I do this. Oh, Kazi. Oh my God. You want a little bit of that grandpa. Hey, you see, you go, and then, I'm just so excited we can raise some money because that's what we're here for. What's going on? Hey, hey, hey. It is hard to see down. Cool, Grandpa. There's no way I lived this long in real life.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our contestant and cheer him on as he attempts to raise $70,000 for cancer research. On your mark, get set, go!
I've been a fan of the Colts since the Mayflower came from Baltimore.
I don't know, sir. You sound a little familiar.
This is the greatest city on earth. And ladies and gentlemen, it was my honor to raise $70,000 for cancer research. Sorry, I missed a couple. I'm an old man. Let's go! Let's
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pat McAfee and $70,000 towards cancer research. Go Colts!
And the ball's leaning back.
Couldn't see. It's a lot more difficult seeing. Hi! Old man's got a hammer. I didn't think I could continue to be an FCC-regulated person without really hitting my max potential.
And that's why he's with us. I love it. The Pat McAfee Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Welcome back to that show. This is Shot Gang by Twine. Shot Gang was a gang that was founded by members of this office and died just as quick as it was created, like Foxy and I predicted. Lack of effort, lack of stick-to-itiveness from this office.
Skill. Good work.
Is at an all-time high in many different occasions.
Easy.
What's that? Lack of skill as well.
What team are you on, Tony?
Nothing to do with it.
I don't know.
Your team stunk,
Tony
and you guys
flip-flops every
quit.
day.
Did you see Wiz Khalifa walking our merch?
You were stooges and sellouts, just like Evan Fox and I
Well, you got
predicted.
the
Never would've
big,
guessed.
greedy corporate fat cats up top trying to hold you down.
Yeah, it was. We put out more.
shock,
We put out more shock merch than we should have. So we were very, very generous with our time with that Shot Gang too. We tried our best, didn't we, Foxy? For
Yeah, we
that thing.
did. And you know what? The pub battled through it.
Yeah, true. The Pum.
They had a great run. I will say, it's dead now, but it had a great run.
Foxy gives up on anything when it gets tough. We all know that.
Oh, holy shit!
Whoa.
I did give up on the Steelers because they stunk, and that was a great decision.
That was a great decision.
Yeah.
And you gave up on the Lions because they stunk, and that was a great decision.
Yeah, I'm back on the lines, though. I'm excited to hire a new head coach.
I'm all the way back. There's no way. There's a GoFundMe to keep him out of Detroit. I
He's
think.
been cursing the team for 26 years.
Welcome back to the show. Big sports show.
Yeah.
AJ, aliens, real. Wow. Tell me about them.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Come on.
Go ahead and unload, AJ. Go ahead and let us know your thoughts on the CIA releasing all these documents about are there aliens in the NFL? Okay. Are they coaching? Are they owners? What's going on? Who are the aliens? Is this Men in Black? We got sugar water. Is that what's going on? Is Elon Musk exactly what we think he is? An alien? How are they going to display that to us? Are we going to learn about that? What's going on? There's a lot of documents I'd like to learn from today.
So are these documents officially released?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Officially.
So there's people going through them. They're going to put out like the highlights, right? Or at least let us know, like give us an outline.
But we got to remember when somebody else goes through them, they're only picking and choosing what pieces of information they'd like to paint their narrative with.
That's right.
What we need is somebody to do a deep dive into that thing.
That's right.
Shout out to Mitt. Mitt.
Attaboy, Mitt.
Attaboy, Mitt. Attaboy, Mitt. Go through those CIA files, dude.
He can read, right?
Don't you think? I think Mitt. Can we get Mitt to go through those 2,000 files, whatever it may be, and then put together maybe like a
PowerPoint,
30 slides
Mitt's
PowerPoint deck for us and let us know what happened?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Mitt, can you read? You can read, right? Yeah.
If we learned anything from the minutes, I think one of my one things I can't do is read.
Yeah, true. He can do a lot of other things, though, and that's why he's ready. Hey, thank you, Mitt.
Good awareness.
I'm worried he might be an alien. Guy scores a 33 on his ACT. Now he's got a brick for a brain, and he's still here, pumping out good stuff.
Hey, Deshaun Watson ended up getting traded or no?
I don't think so.
Me neither. Caserio, I think, is already trying to, kind of mend the fences there. Kind of Vince and the other guy in Wedding Crashers at the table. Owen Wilson. Between Deshaun Watson and Cal McNair. I think he's saying there had to be love somewhere, right? What about the wedding day? What about when you signed for $156 million? There had to be some love there somewhere. Come on. Let's put our swords aside, okay? Let's go ahead and say, let's play the game. Let's go ahead and do this. I assume that's what Caserio is trying to do right now with his best player that he owes the most money to, and he's trying to figure it out. But maybe Deshaun does play hardball, like the tweet said from David Mulligata.
Nailed it.
Yeah, crushed that.
Don't you think though? Like, I would imagine Caserio, not a great operation to walk into. You finally realize your dream. You're becoming the next GM, and you realize there's all these issues with your hiring. And Deshaun even said, like, it's not about Caserio, it's about the process. But don't you think the first thing Caserio is going to do is try to find a way to get a hold of Deshaun and sit down and talk to him?
Yeah, and I tweeted this out immediately upon the reports that they have not heard back from Deshaun, that maybe he was on an island or a vacation where he didn't have great cell service. Turns out what? Picture him out on a boat, seemed to be out in the middle of nowhere, comes out the next day. Now, his Twitter account did like a tweet, so people thought he was within internet somewhere, wherever he was. But there's been a couple times where teammates of mine, I've tried to reach for something, I need something, and it's just like straight to voicemail. I'm like, oh, this guy's never going to talk to me again or whatever. And then I get a call back like a week and a half later after I leave a voicemail, normally pretty hilarious back in the day. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was in insert name of random island somewhere for 8 to 10 days after the season just to kind of get away from everything. I'm back in civilization now. Let me know whenever he's good. I'm like, damn, people do that. So I thought that was potentially something that might have been happening whenever, it was like when Vinny Chase was down on the island
in Mexico,
and they didn't have any service, and Ari had to get on the boat and on the plane to get down there. I thought that was potentially happening. But now Caserio interviewing somebody that Deshaun Watson likes and Bieniemy, maybe they're trying to mend that thing back. Maybe he's back into the internet or reach, or maybe they're back into conversations. That's going to be something we're going to have to watch, AJ. We're going to have to watch that, dude. Seriously.
Caserio doesn't have to like kowtow to Deshaun and be like, oh, whatever you want, sir. Like, it doesn't need to be that, but he needs to just let him know like where the boundaries are, what your expectations are of Deshaun. And Deshaun, let him speak. Like, if I was Caserio, I'd be like, hey man, like, let me know all the issues that you have here. Like, what are the biggest problems we have that I can help get right so we can start winning games?
And Deshaun probably say, you won't be able to fix it, dude.
He might. Honestly, he might.
Yeah, what if it's Cal McNair's the problem?
Well, that's exactly
right?
That's exactly what he's going to say, and that's why he's probably going to tell him, like, unless you can just change the way this whole thing has been going on. I'm intrigued to watch it. I like the drama. I like the drama. I like Doug Peterson telling old buddy to go fuck himself. I think that's what happened in that situation. I think that's alleged, by the way. Do not take that as Big J journalism as our exact thoughts, but it feels as if Doug Peterson did not want that job after the meeting that he was coming out of with old Lori. It felt like in that meeting he made the decision, or maybe even before that meeting, that he didn't want to be there anymore, because they had to come out and basically release a soft statement that they're going to have a conversation the day before this whole thing happened on Sunday. Michael Lombardi reminded me of that because they both thought there was a chance they were going to split. I'd assume that meeting went one particular way. Doug, I would like you to hire this person. Doug goes, nope, not going to do it. Doug, I would like you to do this and said, nope, not going to do it. Doug, are you going to listen to anything we say? Nope, not going to do it. Is this going to be how it's going to be forever? Yep, this is how it's going to be forever. You can fire me, I guess, or we could just kind of separate. So you're just not going to listen to anything we say anymore? Nope, fuck you. Whoa. All right, get out of here. And I think that was a mission of Doug Peterson to get out of there. I think there's too much shit floating out there. It just really feels like that Doug Peterson, and I guess Howie's the guy that everybody's saying that all the fingers should be pointing at him instead of Lurie or whatever. But I feel like Doug Peterson was not exactly thrilled to be in a position he was in. It worked for him. He got fired or let go. He's going to the Jets. I don't think it's going to work for Deshaun. I don't think it's going to work for Deshaun.
It's going to be weird, man. It just shows you, though, to be a head coach, there's so much more than just putting the schedule together, the X's and O's. Like, you have to deal with situations from above, man. I can't imagine having. I know there's owners that'll sit in their staff meetings like the Monday after a game and watch the game with them and like criticize the coaches for what they're doing. And I was blown away when I heard that.
Who does that? I didn't heard that either. That's awesome. But now it makes sense.
Multiple teams that happens. Yeah.
Oh, think about us guys. I'd probably be in some comfortable, probably down in the man cave.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm a billionaire, the cave it's probably like the one in the house down in Orlando. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Massive.
Okay, so I'm just hanging out in there. And this is obviously when COVID is never going to be gone. But whenever we go back to life or whatever, where we're around each other and Zoom calls aren't the way it goes, me owning a team, making them Zoom me into their meetings with a voice of God option while I'm just sitting in my house getting drinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going having some food. What I miss? Let's see, what a nightmare you could make that if you really wanted to. And I would assume there are some owners that are in those meetings that are like, tell me why you did this. Well, I watched 72 hours of film and this is what I said. Oh, well, tell me it'd be hard not to, I guess, if you're an owner, but maybe that's what people are talking about whenever they talk about owners having their hands on too many things, that type of situation. If they don't know what they're talking about, you can see how that could get in the way. Is that what's going on, Jerry? Is that what Jerry Jones does?
I don't think Jerry has the time to sit in Monday morning staff meetings. I think he's got too much going on. He'd probably get bored pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, I would assume every owner would, right? And that's something. Nah, you don't have to tell me exactly who, but this is actually happening?
Yeah, I get buddies that coach all over. Yeah, it happens in multiple spots. Not every single Monday, but they're pretty consistent with it.
That is so awesome.
Or they know, hey, we lost the one we should have won. They're like, yep, he's going to be there tomorrow for sure.
I had a friend that was a coach, and he'd coach in multiple spots, and he told me a story from the previous location or whatever that he was at. And that was a good way of disguising who told me the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Going to be very difficult. No, it's a real story, but wanted to get out there so this never made it back to the person because I don't think this person would be pumped about it. But a lot of friends who have coached in numerous, they said at a previous spot, the night before a game, the owner called the offensive coordinator and said a little bit of hey, this guy should probably have a big weekend, right? Or this guy should have a big game who was a previous either high draft pick or a guy that was given a lot of money. And the offensive coordinator was trying to dance around basically that he wasn't, the guy was not, but he hadn't been because he wasn't a good player or whatever. And the owner goes, oh yeah, I think this would be a good weekend for him to have a big weekend. So the offensive coordinator had to change the thing the night before the game basically to create plays for that particular player to get the ball a couple of times. And that was something I was I think I started crying laughing. It was, we were on the sideline playing against the team that it was about, and he pointed at a guy and said, I wonder if he'll get the ball a lot. And I said, why? They're like, well, he just paid him a lot of money. And this happened here whenever I was there before. It was fucking glorious. But by the way, if I'm an owner, it's going to be hard not to send that text.
Yeah, it's business.
Let's get him involved, huh?
Hey, listen, let's throw a deep ball tomorrow. Got some friends in town. We want to have a festive day.
Get them started.
Let's have some big shots. Maybe some trick plays. We like to be entertained. We got some people going. It'd be hard not to do that, but our team would fail if I had to guess.
Or maybe not.
Takes off.
Yeah, I think don't you think it'd be tough, Pat, with you're this billionaire owner, so he's probably entertaining a lot of potential clients or people that he wants to get some money from, and so it's not a great job to come entertain when your team's 1-15. It's got to feel much better to win.
Hey, get me the head coach. It's the middle of the game, sir. You can, get me down there.
Don't care.
You know how many people we got here in this stadium tonight? Look around. There are 75,000 people. You think they want to see you fucking punting on 4th and a half inch from that fucking 40? Fucking go for it. Need some more shots and some end arounds, reverses, some flea flickers. Let's fucking get it going, huh, coach? Yes, sir. Who is this? Oh, this is the fucking owner, dude. All right. And then hang up from the suite down there. I think Al Davis, I think, used to have a direct line to the sideline, I believe. I think there's numerous people that had direct lines to the sideline.
Jerry's got to have one,
Jerry
right?
definitely has one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What if you saw Jerry one time, they always show him during the games. He's sitting there watching the game and something bad happens and you watch him reach down and he has a full headset and he puts it on and adjusts the mic and he's calling down.
He's got his grandson cleaning off his glasses. He's putting his mask on because they just told him he's on camera. Oh shit. All right, here we go. Then he puts the headset on under the seat, brings out a fucking play call sheet. That would be amazing.
Shad Khan's going to have one this year, too.
Yeah.
Look out.
Yeah, they say Shad Khan's got his hands on everything, I guess, down there. And he's got Urban on the boat a couple times. He's trying to recruit him down there. I don't know how that's going to work. If anything I've ever heard about Urban is like how Urban operates, if Shad Khan's going to be calling all the shots down there.
Yeah, I can't imagine, especially when Urban has all the leverage, that he would agree to something that, where he's being micromanaged from the owner. I doubt he's going to agree to that.
Maybe that's why, and we don't know if that's how it's planning on operating, but the way information is getting released out of how Shad Khan plans to operate as the owner of the Jaguars, it sure feels like there's numerous people that are trying to correct the way he thinks he's going to operate it feels like that's potentially people in the building that are like, hey, we need to publicly shame the owner here. We need people to, because Shad seems like a really smart guy or whatever. But maybe that's why it's taken a couple trips to the yacht, because Urban's like, I don't know if this is what I want to come back for, but I do have Trevor Lawrence, and there's no state tax down here. The team, there's pools in the stadium. The guy will pay for it, and I get this boat whenever I want. I love boats. People know I love boats.
He does.
But then also this guy, this guy who did not play football growing up is going to be making decisions for him. That's probably quite a thing that he's going to have to balance if that is how it's all getting set up down there.
Yeah, we don't really know. But have we heard anything from the Jags? Like all these other teams on Twitter, they announce when they have interviewed head coaches. Are the Jags putting any of that stuff out?
The Raiders Twitter won the internet. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah. I know you won, right? You said Kevin Wisenhunt, didn't you?
And I said the Oakland Raiders too, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
On purpose.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Wisenhunt was on purpose?
Yeah, you get it?
Yeah, dude.
You get the joke, dude?
What's the joke?
Wrong name, wrong picture, wrong guy, wrong everything.
Wrong tweet.
Come on,
yeah.
dude.
I get it. Yeah, you definitely meant to.
Yeah, dude. Led that thing off. Hopped in the box, took a swing. You know what I mean?
AJ, catch up.
And listen, Mr. Wisenhunt looks nothing like old Bradley out there. Old Gavin. The hiring of Gus Bradley is a big move, but they misannounced it. But you're right. The only thing we're hearing about is who's on the yacht. And it seems like all eyes are focused on old Urban Meyer. I guess Joe Brady potentially down in Atlanta. I'm excited to see what he does over there. Who knows who's going to go elsewhere? What's up there?
There is news out there about who the Jaguars have interviewed. They've interviewed Arthur Smith and Salah and Urban Meyer and Bieniemy.
Oh, so they've interviewed everybody.
Artie Smith would be probably right on the button, right?
Artie Smith seems like a good play.
And Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris has already been head coach for half a year here, acting half a year or whatever. I'll be pumped to see who's most miserable about their hiring. You know what I mean? Like who's pissed about who got hired? It's just like reacting to a draft. Like you have no idea. We have no clue. Who knew that LaFleur was going to be able to win like this?
Yeah,
Nobody knew that. So as soon as the head coach gets hired, there's always a reaction. It's like, oh, this guy's going to win us a Super Bowl. And it's like, oh, probably not. Or there's oh, this guy is the worst. And there's like a little bit of success. It's like, I love this guy. This is my guy now. It's impossible to judge immediately. But some of these guys that get jobs again, it's very interesting to see how that whole coaching world works. It's very interesting to see.
Yeah, what about a guy like Marvin Lewis? I guess he had a really good interview in Detroit, but no one's really talking about him.
Who's releasing that information that he had a really good interview?
I'm not sure.
Is that Marvin Lewis or is that
his team?
Is that Chris Spielman releasing that information? Is that the Ford family releasing? Who's releasing that information? Because that is the name of the game. Why is this information being released, and who released it, and what narrative is it trying to paint? That is all you want to. That's what you should know. All the breaks are real. They're real news. Like, I don't know if that is, but it's how it's spun. Did he have a good interview? Probably. Marvin Lewis was a gentleman there for a long time with Cincy. Is very constant now that we're seeing kind of how that whole thing's, and they still don't have an indoor practice facility. But who's leaking that information? Nobody has a fucking clue.
If I had to guess, it's probably his old friend Hugh Jackson. He loved talking to the media. Marv probably called Hugh. I had a great interview, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to call and tell my people."
Do you remember that with Hugh? They weren't even telling him who they were drafting because they were scared he would leak the information. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's great. The Browns have come. Did you hear the conversation we had with Jarvis earlier? He's awesome.
I didn't get to hear it. No, I'm a huge fan of what he does, but no.
He went on this whole speech about how he loves the practice and how he like if last week they had all Zoom calls, they didn't They had 1 hour of practice for the whole week, and then they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh without a coach. And, earlier in the year, whenever teams weren't able to practice, and I think the Titans weren't able to practice, then they had success. You heard a lot of older players and vets go like, yeah, hey, we've been talking about how practice is a waste of time, like it's all mental or whatever. And then Jarvis went on a run basically about how he loves the practice. Like he wants to get out there on the field this week to practice. That's his style. He just seems like the perfect guy for your franchise if you're a fan of said franchise.
I've said it on here before. Like a guy like Jordy Nelson in the receiver room that is selfless, never gonna cause an issue, always is about the team. Like that has a huge trickle down effect on the rest of that room. And Jarvis, I think the whole team, it's contagious. His attitude, how much he cares, how he doesn't care about getting the glory. That's a huge thing. I think the rest of those guys on the team see.
Jordy Nelson, softball legend.
Man,
that guy hits fucking dingers.
Don't pitch to him. Moonshots.
They used to say Psycho Sid Vicious was a professional softball player who wrestled on the side. Okay. So he would wrestle in the WWF at the time whenever it wasn't softball season because of how good of a softball player he is. Braun Strowman's dad, I guess, is in some Hall of Fames because of how bad he dominates softball or whatever. Jordy Nelson's about to be the next one in that list. He is the softball champion of America, I do believe, at this point. He's really focused on that, it feels like. He loves the softball.
Yeah, that and wrangling up calves. I know I sent you a video a long time ago. I think we talked about he wants us to come up next year when they just release all these little calves and other animals, and you have to run around and try to get them tied up. You have like a 3-man team. He wants me, you, and Jordy wants us all to go down there and do it.
I'll tell you what. I'll watch you guys do that for sure.
You don't want to come in? You don't want to do it?
I ain't wrangling up any calves, dude. That is not what I'm.
Jordy will take the dangerous stuff. We'll just come up there at the end, and maybe we can just be like grunt labor. We'll come tackle him or whatever, and then Jordy can do the stuff and deal with the horn.
Yeah, you can do your Lake Tahoe spear tackle thing of a random fan of a cow thing. But for me, if I get outrun by a cow, dude, that's going to be a tough look. Okay, that is going to be tough for me. And I think that happens. From the video I remember watching, they were chasing these cows, and the cows were winning, by the way.
Quick.
The cows were winning. This was in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, middle of nowhere. It was like a rodeo almost. And Jordy was out there walking these cows.
Yeah.
I mean, just full sprint walking these. You got guys in Wranglers and shit kickers running behind them. I don't know I feel like that's something I will fail at, but I do want to get on a bull. I would like that. I want to kind of put that into the universe. I would like to get on a bull at some point.
Cow crew up to 20 miles per hour, by the way.
Yeah, they're quick.
Wow. Very quick.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, you never think it because, they're fat.
Moo.
You ever try to go?
Pat, you're scared. You're scared to try to tackle a baby cow, but you want to strap yourself to a bull and see if you can last for 7 seconds.
Horns, baby.
Yeah, the thing about it is that's an embarrassment. Okay, the running around with those calves is a setup for failure.
You're worried about being embarrassed. You're worried about being embarrassed.
It's a setup for failure. I'll tear my knee probably. I mean, it is set up.
Better.
There's nothing good coming. What do I say? I tackled a calf.
Yeah, and then show them the video, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that looks very difficult."
I just did a backflip off the top rope a couple months ago. Like the tackling of the calf, I think can only go bad.
It's a lose-lose.
I don't think there's any good that can happen. No. Now, if you strap me with the glove on, on the back of a bull, and I let's say I make it 2 seconds. Not that I will. 2.5, 3. What if I go 8 seconds?
Yeah. Win.
What if I go 8 seconds? What a win. If you last 1 second on there, it's a win.
We can make that happen, Pat.
The bull thing?
Good buddy of mine is a high-ranking executive at the PBR.
Oh man. PBR, believe me, the PBR and us, the PBR and I almost had a great relationship. We almost went and did some things. I want to get on
that bull.
I want to get on a miniature bucking bull first, so I can kind of
gauge it.
I can feel the power, feel the thunder, and then put me on one of them big ones. By the way, also this has to be whenever I'm done. This is on the list of things, but it is not a need to be done in the next month type.
No. Sure.
You got to get in shape for that.
Go ride one of the mechanical bulls to practice.
No, I don't do that.
That's not real.
Because you got a guy in the corner just over there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you're just drunk on top of there, and that guy's getting enjoyment out of watching you ride. Basically, a bull-shaped Sibian.
Yeah.
True.
That's what you're on.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not a big get on the mechanical bull thing just because the creeps that are running it over there. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Movements aren't even close to what the real bull is.
And they feel like they're the coolest people on earth. They just want to smack you in the mouth.
Brutal.
What's he touching there? What are you controlling?
Joystick.
It's a joystick.
What are you talking about?
Couldn't tell. It looks weird.
Oh.
What, dude?
No, it does look weird whenever people hop on the back of that thing willingly. It's like, what are you doing? You're
very weird.
You're living in this guy's fantasy.
That guy's the bull, okay? Not the thing that you're on.
Yeah.
Downer tequila cowboy.
Listen, we've all fell victim to one evening of intoxication and getting up on that thing, which is a problem getting up on it. But then you're just literally at the mercy of whatever drunk wants to run that thing that night.
Damn carny.
And you're just. And by the way, I respect it. There's some people that are good on it. I've been at a place where a guy jumped up on top.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was electric.
Surfing,
Yeah, he was surfing. And now, granted, I think the little Sibian guy was on his side.
Oh, is that his best friend?
He was giving him like a wave thing, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, it ended horribly. I mean, he smacked face off ass of fake bull.
Cracked skull.
But for the 10 to 15 seconds he was on top of the world there, that might have been the best bar I've ever been in my entire life.
Todd Haley.
Huh?
Is that Todd Haley?
No, but Todd Haley did break his hip in one bar in Pittsburgh that does have a mechanical bull, and that place is awesome. That place is a very good place.
Cadillac Ranch.
You ride bars? You ride mechanical bulls at those bars?
I don't think I've ever gotten on one, actually, because exactly of what you talk about. Like, yeah, they're slow, and then when the guy wants to throw them off, he throws them off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you can watch your face off the front of that thing.
No thanks.
Is Todd Haley in the league right now?
He is not.
He's getting paid, though, from somebody, I'd assume, right? Cleveland? Is that where he was last? Where was he last?
That was Cleveland was his last stop, yeah.
Remember, he and Hugh almost fought on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I just don't think we should have guys practicing, or we need guys practicing so we can learn our offense. Well, I don't want to hurt guys. They're investing. I'm the head coach, so that's what we're going to do.
Offensive coordinator at high school.
Todd Haley's coaching a high school right now?
Riverview High School, yeah.
They are slicing and dicing out of it. Riverview and where? Pittsburgh?
Find out now.
There's Riverview everywhere, I assume.
Yeah.
Let's get to some phone
bring 'em
calls.
back.
This show stinks. Let's go to Colin in Chicago.
Florida.
What's going on, Colin?
Florida.
Oh, he's old white, retired in Florida.
Hey, Jay, boys, how we doing?
Hey, just hanging out. What do you want to talk about, Colin?
About how much it fucking sucks to be a Bear fan.
Yeah. Why is that?
MVP, we got the MVP, though.
Yeah, MVP Mitch. Maybe he's coming back another year. Nagy's coming back another year. You guys made a playoff run. What are you upset about?
Yeah, I'm 27. We've had 32 starting quarterbacks in my lifetime. Not good. Who's going to be 33, and what does it mean that we didn't pick up the fifth-year option?
Yeah, that just means they're not 100% sold on it or whatever. But Nagy's going to be back. Mitch is going to be back. Pace is going to be back. Let's run this thing back. I don't know if there's going to be any different results. A couple years ago, Mitch was really good. Last year, not so good. What is next year? Is Mitch for the last couple weeks of the season, outlier of the playoff game, going to be him all season next year? Or is this going to be another hilarious, dramatic story about everything happening in the QB room whenever the Bears inevitably fail next year?
Yeah.
But there's no way they're going to – you think they're going to ride into this offseason and leading up to next season with Mitch as – aren't they going to have to either draft somebody or get a free agent quarterback in there?
I mean, Mitch made playoffs.
He just got a huge following on Nickelodeon. He's the favorite player of over 1 million kids.
MVP Mitch, dude. Run it back.
Put asses in seats.
Run it back, dude. Got to do it, man.
Hey, Nate Burleson was good, isn't he? Kind of balancing doing that Nick thing. I didn't watch some of it on Nickelodeon, but he seems to have the personality to be that guy.
He knew he seemed to know a lot of references.
He was shoehorning them in big time, but you can give him a pass for that.
Look at his audience. So he's legit like broadcasting to my kid pretty much.
Yeah, well, not really though, because the references he was making were guys my age. So
which, by the way, I love Nate Burleson. Love his energy. His rap song last year, unbelievable.
Love that.
But he was making a lot of references that I didn't understand because I wasn't part of Nick Nation, so I didn't fully know. But I do like the fact that he cared about who his audience was because, for instance, you don't care about him. You just stick with your low internet speed, so everything you say just gets interrupted. You know what I mean?
Okay. I love that you don't know if you're left or right-handed.
I'm lefty. Please.
But you're not. You batted righty in your professional game.
It was a mistake. That was a mistake. We had to make some changes afterward. We had to do some self-scout. And I think what we learned was, man, my left swing is much more natural than the right swing.
You do have a nicer left-handed swing than you do right-handed.
And by the way, holding for field goals, okay, I'm looking this way because it was a right. I think my hand-eye this way is going to potentially be better, and the swing seems to be much nicer. I'm not going back to Frontier League. I Listen, I think I've deserved.
Well, I remember the Birmingham Barons initially were trying to get you to come out.
And COVID. So, yeah, me and Michael Jordan. What's that, AA?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to move up. Maybe next time I bat with my actual stance lefty. That'll be good.
I mean, it's kind of disturbing that it took you to 33 years of age to realize that you might bat left-handed. So if you bat left-handed, you should golf left-handed probably too.
No. Two different swings. Two different swings.
Not really, though. Still swinging.
I think MJ.
Yeah, but you don't really get it. You don't understand completely.
I don't, because I know I am right-handed in baseball. I throw the ball right-handed. I'm not left-handed really in anything.
Me too, by the way. That's why I stepped in the batter's box as a righty. I was like, this makes sense. I golf righty. It's a swinging motion. Yeah. I throw. Okay, it's moving the arm righty. And then I got in the batter's box, and I did right. I made contact. Let's not get crazy. Yeah. I couldn't really connect with the hips. First pitch, by the way, I've ever seen in my life, make contact with. But then afterwards, we, in the office, we picked up the stick a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Really felt like lefty was much more natural. And I think it's because the only baseball thing I ever did was the Ken Griffey Jr. mock swing with things whenever that was like the big deal. So I think that's my only real reference. And I think it has carried into my adulthood days. So I'm 33, never played baseball, and just realized I'm a lefty. Yeah, and I'm proud to say that, AJ.
Well, good news is that maybe Russ can get you an invite to Yankees camp.
Oh.
Get the pinstripes out.
Could you imagine me and Russ in the pinstripes? I'd toss them around, toe down, toe down. Here we go. Here. Clear eyes, full heart. Here we go. Now toe down. Here we go. Here we go.
Might finally win the pennant.
Yeah.
Shit, after his last performance, Russ might want to think about trying to play baseball full time.
People are saying that about Kyler. You think Kyler goes and plays baseball full time when it's all said and done?
I don't know. When is that time? Like,
next
not
year.
if it's 15 years from now.
No, I think like within the next couple of years. People are saying that he seemed disinterested this year.
Well, they're going to say that with his personality, whether you win it, like if you win, he's like this quiet genius. If he loses, they're like, oh, he's aloof and doesn't really seem to love it. Like that's how it goes.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be like until they win. They need to win though, because if they continue to not win and continue to be, flashes of awesome, just absolutely awesome, and then the next week not so much. I mean, it's going to cost a lot of people. Are we on fire right now?
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
Is there a fire going on right now?
Auto outside right now.
It does sound like a little GTA.
Yeah.
A little shot gang.
Shack.
They're on the lookout.
Shot gang's dead, dude.
Well,
What has that been able to tag in?
it was a good quarantine thing. It'll come back.
That was part of quarantine.
Yeah, that was during the.
Hey, is this quarantine ever going to end, do you think, AJ?
No.
Nope.
Ended in Tuscaloosa.
Well,
oh, fuck, Wuhan, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tuscaloosa last night was 2015, dude.
Yeah.
2008, maybe.
That's awesome.
2004, maybe.
What?
A festival in Tuscaloosa. This is exactly what Wuhan looks like right now, by the way. I've seen some videos from Wuhan pool parties in New Year's Eve. This is what it looks like.
Huge.
Tuscaloosa said, hey, listen, how many times you win a natty? Not enough to fucking stay inside. Let's go. Tuscaloosa said, we are about it out here by the Pita Pit and the CVS. We are going to get down till we get down. And when Saban and the boys come back in the bus, we're going to flip that son bitch, and they're all going to get what we got, and we're going to have a good time. Mm-hmm. They're going to get buried for this. I'd assume they already are.
Yeah. Slaughtered.
Let's think about the young.
All college kids? Do you bury every college kid there? Like, who do you bury?
No, I think they're going to be fine, actually.
Really?
If I've looked at the denominator correctly.
Tightrope.
Oh, my God.
I mean, and I survived it, so.
Look at that denominator.
By the way, guys in the NBA, I guess, are getting COVID again. They've had COVID before, now they're getting it again.
You have a 3-month period where you're a unicorn.
Shout out to our COVID Cowboys. Zito and Diggs.
And if Zetos are fine.
That's true.
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Who's laughing back there?
It does seem like there's quite a loud chuckle for that.
Huh.
Hey, I want to tell you about NetSuite. It's awesome. NETSUITE.com/PAT.
I love it. We love it.
That's not going to count. We're going to owe them one. Sure feels like. AJ, anything to say to the Sirius XM listeners before Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed comes on?
I think I'm good.
All right. His show will be better than ours, we promise. Big thanks to Aaron for joining us, Jarvis Landry, Darius Butler, all of your time listening and watching wherever the fuck you may be. It's paying off because the next show is about to be much better than ours. Mad Dog Unleashed is next. We'll be back manana. You got about 6 minutes. Go take a shit. Yep, we're back. All right, let's talk about NetSuite.
Love
NetSuite. Let's talk about that alien thing's wild, dude. I'm like really pumped about it right now.
Well, Mansuri sent me a link that I can't wait to dive into tonight. That looks like it says like the easiest way to break down the data that was released.
See, but once again, I'm kind of worried about all the other people breaking down the data, letting me know what.
You're not going to do it, so you're going to have to sift through multiple different people that break it down.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, I understand that what I should do and what I will do are two very different things, okay? Do as I say, not as I do type operation here. But boy, I cannot wait until I see, there has to be a photo maybe. Is there a photo? Is there
I'm going to be
videos?
honest with you. I've dove in this a little bit. A lot of redacted files.
Oh, they redacted shit so they didn't?
Yeah, a lot of black bars.
I have a question. How can they do that if they're saying, what's that?
It's not going to tell you much because they can say for the sake of national security, we had to redact all of this, and it's going to be a bunch of, blacked out lines on stuff that you really want to know.
So it's not an actual declassification then. I hate that that's what we consider declassification.
Many of the redacted files, actually, there's like later, that stuff gets touched upon later on because there are about, like I said, like 10,000 of them. So if something's redacted in, one of the top 10
Who's
files
reading this,
later
dude?
on,
Yeah, I can build an algorithm, and if you want, give me keywords, and it'll pull each line with the keywords that you want to know about.
Oh, so that's what people do.
Well, you can also look at the downloads. Like if one thing's downloaded 10,000 times versus one that's downloaded, 500,000 times, you can bet that there's no real information in the 10,000.
But who's saying that? Then you're doing, once again, just in a less educated fashion of allowing somebody else to decide what's important, what's not important.
The
Because
redactions.
all the shit, I will say this. The internet has beat the government on the release of everything thus far, right? All those videos that they put out or whatever in that Phenomenon movie, which was very good. It was a very good collection. It's like our Simpsons thing. Like our Simpson thing, which there's been more and more. We could make like 10 more remixes to that thing. It's a good collection of everything that has been noticed from other places. That Phenomenon movie, very good collection, but all shit that we've seen before, right? Yeah. If you are highly invested in the internet and wondering if there's moon men out there, you know what I mean? So I just would like some new pieces of information to come out, like for instance, how I can meet one. Like is it like a slime zone where I could just walk to a spot and just go and shake a damn hand and push a button? I would like to know if that's the case. That's what I'm looking for, AJ.
Keep looking, bud. I don't think you're going to find it.
Yeah, if there's a bunch of redacted stuff in there still, I'm not that excited about
Hey,
this.
fuck you, CIA.
Sons of bitches.
Our show just got taken down.
Give us something.
I don't mean that. I'm just talking about for like kind of the bait and switch here. You know?
Redact that.
A little bit of a tease.
Yeah.
Redact what I just said.
Redacting.
We're smart. Thanks for doing that. All right. Let's get out of here, huh, AJ? Did you guys give away $25,000 yet watching PMS? Have we figured out how we're doing it?
We have not figured
We have
that out
not
yet.
touched base with Phil yet.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
How do you pick who? So, how much is each person getting?
Well, see, those are all things that still have to be discussed. I think there'll probably be a $5,000 winner, if I had to guess, because you always got to have one that wins the most, just because it feels like there has to be levels to it. Okay, not everybody can get a participation, but then maybe the other 20 is like $20,000 winners, and then one $5,000 winner. You know what I mean? So then we have 21 winners with one grand prize winner, and that was something we had thoroughly discussed yesterday for sure.
Well, and that's why I made that hashtag watching PMS, so you could just pick from those.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So it's simple.
So we have one $5,000 winner, 20 $1,000 winners, and now we have to figure out how we randomly select who wins, but those who watched will win.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll figure it out.
It is not easy, AJ. I try to keep my hands out of the selection process now because the amount of people that get. It seems like the winners are happy for sure, but not real loud. The losers, boy, they are the loudest.
They will let you hear.
They are not.
They they claim that they should have got picked. How? It's you.
Oh, everybody's owed something, AJ. That's how it works.
Gumpy, is it like that in Canada?
Oh, it's even worse in Canada.
I mean,
what Pat was talking about CFL, I mean, that's what you get up there, my
They
friend.
came after me for calling it State Fair football, bro. Like, hey,
fuck you, buddy.
bro, I love state fairs, man.
Yeah, they're the best.
They wouldn't get it. They don't have states up there.
What do they got?
Providence Fairs.
Oh, shout out to Province Fairs, dude. They ever go? They should go. Those are a good time. We should put them on.
Ooh.
Hey, you got Ohio State Fair? Do you go to that?
I have not been, but yeah, there's a big one here. I know.
Oh, you gotta go.
Gotta go, AJ.
Gotta go, dude.
Are they dead? Are they ever going to come back?
Indiana State Fair is going to come back for sure. They own like an eighth of the city. It's basically
fairgrounds.
Its fairgrounds are just massive inside downtown. They'll come back, I assume.
Hopefully.
I hope fairs aren't dead.
No, not a chance.
Did COVID take away state fairs?
Not a chance.
Oh, fuck, dude. Let's go kill them.
Yeah.
Take them out. COVID.
Would state fairs be better if it was just a restaurant with state fair food?
No.
What the fuck are you?
What?
Come on.
So you don't have to go to the actual state fair.
No, going to it is a part of it, dude.
You want to see the fucking prize pig they got there?
Slap you in the mouth right now.
There's a pig the size of this fucking room there.
Yeah.
Okay? Is it healthy? No. Is that thing lived a great life? Probably. Maybe. I mean, it's eating its entire. But that thing's just getting trotted around. Then they're scoring. I mean,
Talking to spiders.
you get dropped in a different planet. It is unbelievable. It is so much fun.
I mean, it's hot and it's crowded. Everyone looks like me and Zito. I mean, it's
What
just.
do you mean?
I said me and Zito.
With all due respect.
That's right.
That's what you did there with the
Healthy
hats.
Americans? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
A lot of hat
Americans.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. I love it. Footlong corn dog.
I mean, we didn't grow up with.
I know. That's why I enjoy. We had Kennywood, which is a much different experience. Similar, but much different experience.
Kennywood's
People
down.
watching, still awesome. You know what I mean? State fairs. If you've never been to one and you get dropped in, it'll be your favorite. You got to be obviously on some vitamins, I'd assume, so you appreciate the smaller things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The mullets.
Ooh.
Oh, fucking awesome, dude. The shit talk from the people running the games. Top. I've wanted to hire a few of them. I'm like, I think you could talk really well, but you probably have a rap sheet that's pretty fucking long.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that by the tattoo that looks like you took a Bic pen and wrote it in your arm. You know what I mean? But I love them. I absolutely love them.
Do you get on the rides?
No, fuck no. No chance.
you don't trust those.
Chance, no chance at all.
I think someone died on one of the rides at the Ohio State Fair like 4 or 5 years ago.
Safe assumption.
It feels like that probably happened. And I think everybody that gets on those rides very much understands that your refund will be escaping this death trap with your life.
Possibility.
You know what I mean? Like Sam, my wife, is from Indiana. Okay, she's been going to the state fair probably her entire life. I think she competed in 4-H, which is like how elementary schools. It's like the Presidential Fitness Award, but for other things for the state fair, basically.
What?
It's like
like farming,
stuff and everything.
Agriculture.
And she did something with dogs in this thing. Like 4-H is a bunch of. We had like the what was that game? 21 or 24 was the game where you had the cards. Where you had the 4 numbers on it, you had to add, subtract, multiply. 24. Like, how we had 24 competitions at our school to go to a main one? They have like these farming, like who can grow the best pumpkin. Oh. You're like a 5th grader or whatever. That's all at the state fair. She did shit with dogs and everything. We go to that thing, and she tries to get on those fucking rides. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Like, what? You have a life now. You have a family. Like, did you see the guy that put that together? We just fucking talked to him. Yeah. We just talked. That guy just did the. Yep, that's tight enough.
He's had 14 beers today already.
And 1 tooth.
That guy is 1 tooth.
Yeah, top tooth.
Maybe that guy. He can talk well. And he's an incredibly hard worker. I appreciate that he put this thing together. Yeah. But there's no chance we're getting on the fucking whoop-de-woo right there. That's going to potentially spin you into certain death. Like that can't. So you got to be smart when you go to state fairs too. And I do kind of feel disappointed for my wife that I won't get on those rides with her. But
you're doing an incredible job selling these state fairs.
It's awesome.
You got to be on drugs and don't ride the rides.
Yeah,
that's it.
Good time.
You're welcome. Did I just? Yeah, you just beat the state fair. Don't even waste your time in that shit.
Nope.
But the food. Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
Deep fried.
Hey, Jay, you got to go to that Ohio one. What are you doing? Why don't you go to it?
I haven't been to like the big main Ohio State Fair, but there was always one of the, I don't know what do you call the traveling little circus shops where they set up
Barnum and Bailey's
circus
multiple
shops.
places.
Oh, yeah, Jubilee.
Yeah. They used to come in Centerville. There would be a place like this huge parking lot, and they would set up a bunch of those rides, the whoop-de-woo, all that. I used to go, and I would go get on a bench and puke after each ride and then get back on another one.
Yeah. Hey, that taught you mental fortitude that you would use to lead yourself to a college football national championship and a Super Bowl. And I've yet to hear you thank that thing one time. That little circus shop you called it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're concussing that thing.
It was at the Cross Point Center for anyone from. I remember that.
Nice, dude.
What? If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you that running a business is incredibly tough, isn't it, AJ?
Too late. You're supposed to do this on Sirius.
Well, we just owe them. We owe them one.
Go get it.
You got the plug at the end there.
netsuite.com/Pat. It's worth it.
Hey, you got it.
I love NetSuite.
You fit it in.
It'll make your life a lot easier. Phil uses it.
He does.
It crushes.
Yeah. Let NetSuite show you how they'll benefit. We might be able to steal one here. How they'll benefit now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let NetSuite go ahead and let NetSuite show you how they'll benefit your business with a free product tour at netsuite.com/Pat.
Oh, God, I love it.
Isn't that what we've been saying this whole time?
Love NetSuite.
We love NetSuite. Let them make your life a lot easier if you're a business owner. It's already hard enough, isn't it?
So hard.
God damn it. All them spreadsheets. And with NetSuite, it makes your life easier instantaneously.
It's the sweetest.
There's no buffering.
No.
Okay, there's no waiting.
Nope.
Here we go. How you doing? Keep it moving for your business.
You don't have AJ connection.
There's over 22,000 companies already doing this. You should be doing it as well, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
22,000?
22,000 of them. Wow. Speaking of a business that probably should be using NetSuite, our time on SiriusXM here is wrapping up on this beautiful Tuesday, January 12th, 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed is next. His company's been around a long time. He's probably using NetSuite to get to where he's at.
Must be.
Just like you should. netsuite.com/Pat. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been the Pat McAfee Show, January 12th, 2021. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed is next. Don't leave me lonely.
Nailed it.
I think we did it.
I'm so happy Sirius allows us to do that.
Yeah. What?
What?
We've already. It's already been clipped.
Severed.
Yeah, so
But I like that you did the oversell.
Yeah.
But what did Sirius let us do?
I don't know.
Oh, get back on the
back
air.
on the radio, yeah.
Oh, so you were selling that we just got back on the air.
Yeah, and we gave it back to Mad Dog.
See, what I was selling was $2.59.
Yeah, we stopped Mad Dog's show.
To redo our ending.
I mean, take it however you want. Take it however you
Got it in either way.
I don't know if anybody else thought what you thought, but I appreciate the fact that that's what you thought we were doing there.
Yeah.
How's the poll doing? Pretty
The
good?
poll's doing really good. Over 28,000 votes. Who's the best quarterback left in the playoffs? Last place, Tom Brady, 6.7%. Josh Allen, 10.3%. Patrick Mahomes had a little comeback here, 31.2%. And Aaron Rodgers, 51.8%.
Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. People have spoken, dude. Doesn't matter what the rest of the thing
Hell
says.
yeah.
They know.
Tom Brady, there's no chance he loses to Drew Brees 3 times, right?
I don't think so. No, I think the Bucks win.
Yeah, me too.
What about the other guys? Who'd you leave off? You didn't leave it.
Lamar, Baker, Drew Brees apparently, but he sucks.
Whoa. Just won a playoff game.
What about Wolford,
Luckily.
dude?
Barely.
Blake Bortles.
The Wolf?
Jared Goff, whoever's starting for the Rams. That's a wild time over there for the Rams.
Is it possible that McVay is doing this just so they don't know who the quarterback's going to be? Like they're not really like that different.
McVay might play quarterback.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know why.
I don't think so.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on over there.
Is McVay just trolling to show how good of a coach he is?
Maybe. I truly don't know. I really don't know. And are they going to trade Goff then? Or are they looking to get – because if the salary cap is staying the same, is Goff going to be a guy that's going to be on the trade market now? Carson Wentz potentially? Deshaun Watson potentially? A bunch of free agent quarterbacks? Is Jared Goff getting added to that list? Or is this just all – I mean, why is it going down the way it is if we shouldn't have that conversation, I guess?
What about Goff straight up for Wentz? Same contracts.
Yeah, no one wants the Goff contract either.
No.
Yeah. Just keep Indy out of the conversation.
Yeah, there you go. Bring in Stafford.
You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks that you can go find if you need.
A lot of them. A lot of them are going to be available. We all think. Now, granted, it might be another boring offseason, but we all think that there's going to be a lot available.
Yeah.
If the NFL just starts getting into trades and shit, like a lot of them, I'm pretty pumped up about it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be great.
There's going to be some fan bases heartbroken though when they see their entire franchise get traded away. Like, what the fuck? This is supposed to happen in the NBA, not in the NFL. Deshaun Watson getting traded would be massive. I mean, that would be absolutely massive.
Yeah. Shouldn't one of these teams without a coach just do everything to get Bieniemy and then trade whatever they have for Watson? If that's like what he wants.
Watson has openly said, I would like Bieniemy to be the head coach or whatever.
Well, I mean, if you're the GM, though, if you're Caserio, if you don't think that's the best plan to have success, then no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, and Caserio, by the way, Lombardi said this yesterday. He's not trying to win over the fans. Like, that's not his job. His job is to win games for the Houston Texans. That's all it is. And if it's going to take a couple years to do that and they have to rebuild it, the fans will come back around whenever you're winning. I mean, that is just and the Houston Texans fans are great fans. I mean, those fans are awesome fans. They'll come back around if the Texans are winning and you piss them off a little bit. And that's all Casario's got to be thinking about. But also, how do you know you're ever going to find a quarterback that's anywhere near what Deshaun Watson is in a league where you need a guy to really go?
You don't know. That's the thing. If you don't have that guy, you're searching for that guy constantly, and you might not have a job by the time if you don't find a guy in short enough time, I guess. So yeah, that's why I don't think he gets traded.
How awesome would it be to be Deshaun Watson right now?
Yeah.
He's on that beach.
A lot of power.
I just keep soaking up that vacation if I was him.
He's just out in the middle of a boat or whatever, and the whole world's talking about what he's going to do. Not a bad call there, Gump.
Looks like a good time, my friend.
Oh, Gumpy, you want to go on a boat, pal?
Wouldn't mind.
Hey, Gumpy, get out there on the boat. Yeah. No cell phone service. He ain't answering anybody out there.
Fun in the sun.
Respect it, dude. You think Saban retires this year?
No.
Okay.
I bet he called 7 recruits within 30 minutes of accepting the trophy.
Did you watch that? Did you watch what we did?
You really going to go to Ohio State?
What? They didn't even want to play, and then they played, and then guess what happened?
Got their ass beat.
You think a Northern team will ever win a national championship again?
Yeah.
Hawks, baby.
I don't know.
Boston College.
I think it's going to continue to be hard to sell.
Well, I think the college football playoff, as awesome as a move as it was, may have ruined college football because there's 3 schools that make it every single year. So now everyone's going to those 3 schools. So no other school ever has a chance.
Yeah, the Bear put out a tweet this last night that was pretty eye-opening, alarming with the numbers. I guess there's been 21 college football playoff games, and 17 of the games have been won by Alabama, Clemson, or Ohio State. Expanding the playoff, which I haven't been a fan of, will not give us more title contenders, but it might be necessary to create more excitement among fan bases currently not in a college football playoff. I like that, Bear. Little self-awareness about how he's probably been against it because how much better some teams are than others. But boy, if they would open that thing up to 8 teams, I still think Alabama wins it all. I don't think it changes much. There's a little bit of excitement that any given night somebody could pop off. A mid-major school could have a little bit of a miracle run. I mean, it would add a lot of excitement, money, everything that's important to the people making these decisions. I don't know why they wouldn't.
And I saw this morning, if you think of like the NCAA basketball tournament, which round's cool? Like the first 2 rounds or the final 4? Like
First two.
What was that, Virginia Commonwealth or whatever?
Oh, yeah. VCU, baby.
I mean, LSU won it just last year, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
The national championship.
Oh, you're talking about Alabama. Oh, yeah, you're not being – what's that?
Football, national championship.
Yeah, but LSU, SEC school.
They're not going to make it back again for –
And they're getting a bunch of sanctions too, right?
Yeah.
They banned Odell.
Yeah.
Well, and they banned themselves.
Looks like it could happen. Looks like they may have been cheating.
Yeah, but if they did all that to themselves, I think the NCAA is probably going to do something too, if I had to guess, right? They'll probably come down.
They're too distracted.
Well, and that's the 4th spot. It's those 3 teams and then just one other team from whatever the second best team in the SEC is.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Gets their ass beat.
Yeah. LSU, though, man, what a run that was. But then Devontae Smith's family's from Louisiana. They're all Alabama fans now.
Yeah.
Is that play? It doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
I saw this morning that LSU team would have been 3-point dogs to last night's Alabama team.
That Alabama team was so good, dude.
Yeah.
They were so ridiculous. Good. That was fun to watch, man. The fact that they showed up on a big stage, too. You know what I mean? Like, normally those Saban games are real tight, real tight. We don't know what's going to happen. That team just last night was just from beginning of the game to the end of the game. Sarkisian was like, "It's my last game coaching you guys. Yeah, let's just go fucking kill him with our guy that they don't got. Yeah. That's 6. Let's go ahead and give you the ball any chance we can, and let's just run up this thing." That was awesome to watch. It was not Ohio State fans probably didn't enjoy it, but as a person who is an NFL fan, watching that game last night was fun. There was a lot of studs, you know what I mean? A lot of great athletes, a lot of great plays, a lot of big time pops. I mean, it was 32, poor guy. 32 at Ohio State, middle linebacker. That poor guy. He was put in some compromising positions athletically, but it was a good game. I think college football should be pumped about it.
They should absolutely be pumped. Najee Harris, that dude is fun to watch. He runs so hard, and his balance is unbelievable. I'm super impressed by. And he seems to be like He looks like a fun guy. He looks like he's having fun too.
Yeah, his answer was whenever they said he made it look effortlessly or whatever. He was like, "Yeah, they were beating the shit out of me." Out there. He was like, he was very self-aware. It's ETN, Najee Harris. I mean, there is some studs coming in. Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
He didn't even play this year from LSU. He's supposed to be a top wide receiver. Devontae Smith, obviously up at the top of this whole thing. Waddle, if he's going to get healthy at all, he's at the top. There's some absolute weapons coming out of college this year. And if last year's success of the young wide receivers is any indication of this year's success, look for a lot of plays to be made for the wide receivers coming into the NFL. I mean, last year's rookie class was unbelievable. CeeDee Lamb, Judy, Chase Claypool, Justin Jefferson. The list goes on and on. Ruggs.
Ayuk.
What's that?
Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco.
AIYUK. Yeah, there's a lot. Is that because the offenses are so pass happy now that it's just creating monsters down there in college?
And this year, will all the good wide receiver free agents, will that affect any possible drafting?
Big money, dude. Where do you spend your money at, AJ?
Yeah.
Do you get a veteran or a young guy? Do you want somebody that's proven or do you want somebody that's much cheaper you can build around? Questions.
Question, like, do you trust the guy that has done it and has made plays in the league, but he's a little bit older? Or do you want to take, like, the potential upside that could be higher from one of these young studs?
And a little bit more expensive, too, the older guys.
Oh, yeah.
They've been around. They've had success. Probably going to be a little bit more expensive. Or do you roll the dice with success as young wide receivers and say, there's a big list of dudes here?
Different position, but DeForest Buckner trade.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
You get someone you know can play in the NFL.
Chris Ballard. What did he say he was going to do draft night, first round? He said, I'm going to go watch a film with DeForest Buckner.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to go watch DeForest Buckner and be very happy that we traded the 27th pick for this guy. I would do that, by the way.
It worked.
All right, that's the show, huh? What do you got tonight? Anything, AJ? You do anything cool?
I don't know. I was going to try to catch a flight down to Tuscaloosa and see if the party's still going on.
We'll hunt back, dude. It is still going. The boys are just getting back into town. They probably did a little something this morning. Tonight, there'll probably be a celebration. I mean, definitely popping off down there in Tuscaloosa.
Good for those guys.
I suffered
They're not going to have a public, like, parade or any kind of celebration.
Probably
If there's no
state fair,
way
they are.
I mean, I don't think old Saban's going to put it together, but I assume the students will do something to commemorate the boys. I'd assume. Seems like
they will.
Seems like they're doing their own celebrating down there with their own protocols. You already have it? No. Well, you need to get it for that national championship game because
You get on now.
move on. We're all going to have it. We're all going to be in the goddamn streets. You see this team? They're unbelievable. I lost last night in boxing.
Oh, no.
First actual defeat.
Jeez.
To who?
Guy's name is Duke. He's out of Chicago.
Tough son
Watch
of a
out,
bitch.
those guys.
Not Eddie Price.
Fucking heavy hands. No, I've beaten Eddie at all the classes. I've beaten everybody at all the classes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been through the game. And am I getting worse? Am I getting caught, lacking a little bit? Maybe.
Was he a southpaw?
No, Duke's a right hand, heavy hand. Duke is a heavy. And he hit me right in the mouth. I fucking seen it coming too. I saw it from a mile away, and then the screen just went like this, black. And I was like, oh no. And then I get back up, and I'm like, all right, here we go. I got to knock him down now because it's scoring in that game. I got to knock him down.
Yeah.
I get a knockdown on him. He comes back after that knockdown though, and it did not affect him at all.
Got pissed off.
I was very tired from the knockdown because I went full go for those 30, 45 seconds. And then coming out of the knockdown, he came out, oh my God, just absolute bongo. He came with like maybe a 15-piece combo.
Jeez.
Dead, done. And I just took it like it was the first time I had to stand there next to the ref in the arena. Well, they announced the winner, and he lifted his fucking hand. I had to look over at it, and I gave, and then I just exited the ring.
Yeah.
I took the thing off,
Yeah.
put it down, told Sam I got to go shower. She said, what happened? Just got knocked out by a guy named Duke. She goes, that's tough. It was inevitable, wasn't it? I was like, I didn't think so, but thank you for keeping that thing positive for a little bit.
Back to the drawing board.
I got back in there. I went down to the lowest level, by the way. Knocked out 9 dudes.
Hell yeah.
had to build the confidence back up. Then I got into ping pong. Okay, won some games, and I played against a guy who, dude, this is how he was serving. As soon as he serves, by the way. So you get, you spar with your partner. Okay, and my partner now is at world class Okay, so it's like easy, medium, hard, world-class, legendary. I got my guy up at world-class, okay? So it's this fake sparring partner, but he's a good player or whatever. And you kind of play, and then all of a sudden your notification will pop up if somebody has challenged you, or you can go and send challenges, and it'll pop up whenever it has been accepted or whatever. I get challenged, you accept. You never know what is on the other side of this accepting. I still don't understand the scores. Like, they don't really tell you, like, this score is a good score or a bad score. So you have no idea what's on the other side of this thing. Every once in a while, you'll pop into this new space, okay? And the person will, like, wave to you. Very nice, okay?
Oh, okay.
Thing. Then you find out if their mic is muted or not. You guys could talk to each other a little bit. And then then you pick, do you want to play a ranked game or an unranked game? And you can hit the ball back and forth a little bit there before you pick the game. So you can tell some people don't do it. Last night, I won a couple games. I got challenged. I accepted, okay? I get in there. This guy already has ranked picked, okay? Just waiting on me to basically get there. I go, okay, we're playing a ranked game. This game counts. He had to serve. He threw that thing up, and he went like this with the paddle, okay? And I was like, oh, boy, we're fucking in for one here. His first serve, I jump, forehand, smack, kill, off. I'm like, fucking, send a motion. That did not deter that man at all. He came right back to it and was just like, whoosh, and I went to do it again, bang, right in the net, right into the net. I mean, couldn't have went firmer into it. Now it's my turn to serve. I fucking hit 2 good ones to his back. He's fucking painting corners with this thing. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so now we're down 2-1. All right, I got another one for. I'm going back spin on this serve. Okay, he goes back. We go back and forth a little bit. He's just playing the spin game on me, so I'm just trying to. And inevitably, I get sick of it, so I go, God, right into the net. Now it's 3-1. His serve. Guess what? That ball's coming right back with the side thing. I was just sitting in inevitability of losing to this person. They knew it. I knew it. I thought he was potentially filming it, by the way. It was like he was toying with me at certain times.
Jeez.
That's what it was like. Last night, got knocked out by a guy that had beaten up before. No games, dude.
When you hit the ball, does your little device vibrate? Like, does it give you that sensation?
It's actual ping pong. You're playing real. Even if you put spin on it, it's actual ping pong. Awesome. It's the most real feeling thing in the entire game. I think it's real ping pong. Like, you can actually, and I'm training obviously because I got to go to Germany at some point to play against Bjorn Werner again, and probably in front of an arena of people that we'll probably do that in front of. But I was feeling myself too much, and then all of a sudden the fucking came and humbled me very quickly. I mean, very, very quickly. I was getting toyed with. I had to take the thing off again. Sam's like, "What happened?" I'm like, don't need it right now. Sam. Okay, don't fucking need it right now. So you need to get one. You need to get in there. The ping pong. You can just talk. We can have a full conversation. It's like I'm in your living room while playing.
Since I can play you in ping pong, I'm getting closer and closer to getting it. Hopefully, they open up the boxing so I could box you. That's what I want.
Oh, whoa. I don't want to talk too arrogant now because Oculus will humble you a little bit. Yeah. But I thought I was the best Oculus boxer of all time. I really did. I didn't play much defense, though, I realized in my run. And that's being exposed right now whenever I get a little bit tired.
Who you got tonight? Me and Joe Donato?
No, I don't know if I'm going to do Ugly Joe Donato. I might do Vega. He's this guy from Indonesia, I believe Vega's from.
Shit.
He's really tall. Weak jaw. Weak jaw, though. If you get in there, you can get him just to collapse very quickly.
You get the uppercut in the repertoire?
I have yet to land the uppercut. I think it's potentially a glitch thing. I always get him right in the sternum. You know what I mean? It's always like a shot right in the sternum. I can't connect to the Hayukin. You know what I mean? I can't get all the way through there. My jab, hook, cross, or whatever the fuck it is, Vega ate 2 of them, was down.
Yeah, stick to what you know.
Huh? Fucking Duke, though. I got to play defense at some point.
Well, that's what the that power ball is for, right? So you can just work on that movement.
You train, yeah.
We're building the Oculus Arena, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's happening very soon. And I'm going to go do the Creed game from beginning to end. So we'll be able to go through that. I think those first couple boxers in Creed, I might fucking kill on the canvas. There might be a murder in that Creed game whenever I get in there. But I'm worried about whenever I get to, what's his name?
Rocky?
You think you fight Rocky in there?
I don't know. Why not?
What's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Apollo was his dad. Was his son? No.
What?
Yeah.
Apollo Creed or his son?
Yeah, what's his son name?
Adonis, yeah. Donnie.
So I'm fighting Donnie at some point, probably in there?
Probably.
Well, yeah, you got some slapdick white, probably. That's if this follows the Tyson Punch-Out thing. You got the big, stupid white.
Right.
You just walk out there, bang,
Glass
dead.
Joe.
See you
Yep.
later, Dan. Then you go to the next one. Yeah.
Just hope you don't get Jake LaMotta. Okay.
Raging Bull.
That's an Italian?
Well, Iron Chin.
Yeah, fucking Ugly Joe's got one too. I literally just sit there fucking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right on his face, and he just and then bang, punch back. It's like, come on, Joe, you gotta fucking die at some point here. You're the second character in the game. Come on, you stink. You're at the bottom of the card. Fucking get out of here.
I don't know how true this is. People are saying Ivan Drago.
Oh, he's in that?
I just saw like 20 people saying it.
He is a machine.
That guy's got a great jaw.
He does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get the uppercut in play by then.
Chop the Russian down.
You know what I don't like is I have this shoulder roll too, like Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that never gets accounted for in the virtual reality.
You gotta put a sensor on that shoulder.
I know, yeah, because it only has this. It doesn't even know what's connecting, what's going on. I'm shoulder rolling the whole time. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, let's get out of here, dude. Oh, I got a conversation in 3 minutes I'm supposed to be on. All right, AJ, thank you, dude. Appreciate you. That's the show. See you tomorrow, AJ. That's a good show. It's a good show. See you guys.